What's up, guys? Welcome back to the OCL. I hope you've missed me because I'm sure as hell missed you. It is Lath or Stoinus, whatever you want to call me by. I'm joined on the desk by my good friend Young Legs. How are we, Legs?
Hello, I am great. I'm
Good,
keen for
good.
this set. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so am I. Biogravity Finance versus Married Men will be the first that we're bringing you today. Should be a really interesting one. I think Biogravity Finance didn't have the greatest start to the season, but then they pulled a little switcheroo, got out the Magic Hats, grabbed a couple new players, and
Yeah,
really
they're
turned
turning
it
it around.
around.
This. We're getting into the back end of the season too, and these two teams in the middle of the table kind of battling out for seeding too, which will matter a lot actually going into the finals. So yeah, get these last three games are important, especially for these middle teams.
Yeah, I'd agree. I would have to agree, especially considering the top two teams right now are sitting pretty clear. That no one's really finding the way to beat those teams. So going into finals, if you can manage to get more into like the middle of the pack for seeding rather than like the bottom of seeding, avoid those top teams until the later stages of that finals, could be really good for you. So these are some big games.
Yeah, as we do that, we'll go have a look at the team list of BGF. Some Is this the first streamed game of the new roster? Like complete
Potentially.
roster? We did. I think the last one they had like three subs against the Jack Martins. But I do think
Yeah.
this will be the first scene we have of a full roster.
Look, I think so. I can't, I don't have it off the top of my head. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that this is the first time we're seeing this roster, which is, of course, House Solo, Melbourne in the jungle, Carter middle, Weave support, and Dookie making the transition. I think he went from jungle to sub and is now into ADC, and I'm pretty sure he's locked in with Ben stepping down from the team.
Yes, I like it. I like the changes. Melbs is a well-known jungler around, and Ken does definitely have the potential to just hard carry games if he's like if he's feeling it that night.
Yeah, look, I'm also a big fan of this team. House Melbs Carter, myself, we're all PS4 boys. We started out our like Smite like journey on PS4 like years ago. I've been playing with these guys since like 2016, 2017. So these guys will know each other pretty well. They know each other's games. They know how each of them want to play. So I think that as far as like synergy goes, this should be a really good team.
Yeah, and we've come had a brief stint like 2 seasons ago. I think he was back, but like being away from the game for so long, coming back, he has just taken off. He's picked up the game after being away for so long, like so quick. And he's already like a top support, and can see he does a lot for this team.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Weaver's also one of those top supports in the region right now. He's really like found his footing and is looking good. So very excited to see what this team can pull off.
Yeah. As
With a
we go over to the married men,
yes,
another exact same team from last season that they had. I believe this game Rex is out, and they do have Angel subbing in.
okay, but I'd like to. I should touch on the team, but I want to turn my attention to that sub column. Oscar,
That is a wild one.
that's
Yeah, true.
yeah, that's huge, dude. Get him in. I'd love to see him return in that solo lane.
I'm
That's
sure
that's
Osher
a
doesn't want to return, but everyone wants him to return.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. That is a big name. But let's get to the actual team. Of course, we have the most handsome man in Smite OCE, Adler's in the solo lane, half guard jungle, Rex Forever in mid, who will be getting subbed out for Angel this set, Invictus and Pretty Hectic in the duo lane. A pretty old team. A lot of big names from, you know, the past.
Yeah, a lot of synergy too. Invictus, PH, Rex, and Adlars, I think, have been playing together for a while now. Half guy, even through last season, has been playing with them a lot as well. I think the synergy there is probably one of the better in the league.
Yeah, I mean, we've played these guys a couple of times now, both scrims and sets. This season, last season, and one thing I will say about this team is their ability to group and play team fights together is just unparalleled. I think that that is the strongest suit of this team is just their ability to group up and then to play off each other. Like this is the sort of team that if they get a Naja Ra combo, they're gonna hit it every time.
Yeah. And one thing I did like the last time I watched these guys set, uh, half guy typically known to play like your hard carry assassins and just try and like hard stomp the other team. But the last game I did watch, he did play more like facilitator jungler and let like PH and Rex kind of shine. So I kind of want to see if he goes for that kind of role again, which a lot of
Yeah,
people actually didn't really know he kind of had in his bag. Everyone just kind of saw him as the hard carry and pop off, but he did do well on the facilitators as well.
yeah, I've heard the same thing, Legs. The last couple of sets, and even I think in scrims, he's been leaning more towards the facilitator picks and letting like Rex and PH kind of carry the games more, which is very odd. A lot of the times we see half cut teams, and it's generally him just on the real hard carries, like his Carlys, his Nemesis, his Mercuries, and that. So I am interested as well. As I think we're ready to get into picks and bans
D's
for
and
game
B's.
one. Now, Legs, what are we looking for here? What are our top bands right now? What are we thinking?
I think it's very team dependent. I think at the moment there's a lot of really good picks. Like you got your Baba Yaga, Marty, Rama, Yemo, as we see first band. We got uh Terra up there as well. I think there's a lot like Raven too. I think it really depends on what they're looking for or what they're willing to give up. As we see Barber come out as well.
Yeah,
I don't know how often these bans get uh submitted, but married men do have 100% ban against them by the Hebo.
I think that this is pretty well updated. Gangster Sexy, shout out the boy,
I
is
like that.
generally on top of these sorts of things. So I have to assume that that is up to date. And Marty, the next
Might as
ban,
well.
and I think the thing with OC as well is that a lot of the time it's not just meta. A lot of teams you can really just target out with your bans a little bit more rather than going for specific meta bans, as instanced by like the 80% Thor ban rate, the 100% Hero ban rate, as one that you said, Raven, also goes down.
Yeah. Very typical bands coming out. The Carly as well. I yeah. I don't know if Carly is a top jungler. I guess just banning it all as respect ban against half. I guess
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
get
Well,
rid of it.
Carly's one of those ones that I said before that we are used to seeing half play and really just carry on as Terra, the final ban. What does this leave open here? The Ram is open.
Yeah. Ramahachi's open. We. What else do we have open? That might be it. And they do have a lot. Oh, forgot about that one.
The
I always
Jormungandr
forget about that
is.
one. Yep, Jormungandr first pick.
Oh,
Uh,
are these bands backwards? It's throwing me off a little bit. Anyway, Yorm. Yeah, Yorm kind of made a resurface here. I don't know why. I don't know what's come up. I don't know if it's items. I know that Yorm's doing the tainted Chronos pendant build, just kind of slapping damage a bit.
yeah, he's very good in like the dive comps. Double Yorm.
Okay, no, all right. I think that they've fixed it the right way around. So Yorm,
But yeah, Yorm
Yorm
is
for the
picked though.
very
Yeah, he's kind of really good into the dive comps. Like if you're going like full dive, he's also really good if you're running double hunter
You
as
are
like your
finished!
magical damage offset. And
yep.
his disruption's kind of sick. He also does pretty well in the ADCs. Or double ADC is a bit rough, but into mages and all of that, he's kind of very disruptive and kind of just annoying.
Yeah,
I just
I really like, especially with the Ram. I really like it now that the Ram is hovered. Achilles into Yorm is such a good matchup. I think Achilles is really strong right now, both solo and jungle. Does a lot of damage. Plays with the new builds really well. Manticore, Spike, Archdruids, those sorts of things. And Yorm struggles with Achilles. He's a big, easy to hit target who can't get away from the Achilles execute. So I like that this lane matchup. I like the team fight potential that Married Men have gone into with the Achilles Ram as Hachiman
I
the new
will
hover, as you
win
said
peace by
before, both
force.
Ram and Hachiman open. Probably the top
yeah.
two ADCs outside of Marty.
Just yet to see the third pick, but just off that top two, it looks like BGF's kind of might be going for a dive comp, which with the Achilles being a counter in the Yorm, for it in team fights for it to really get the counter, you kind of need your Achilles to play black backline as well. So I would like to see Married Men kind of go into a backline comp, maybe double hunter with Achilles and
To
like a
shatter
support with
mountains.
Benner. Maybe just play to pick these Yorm, even Thor as well. Like they have three dive heavy top three. So a backline comp, maybe with some sustain as well, maybe from mid or support. I would like to see.
Yeah, what I do like to see though is the Melthor that now comes out. Very, very prolific pick for the jungle of Melbourne. So I'm keen. Maybe we might see a Blink Thor. That could be a bit spicy. As
Anubis.
well, I won't lie. Anubis into heavy dive, very good. That's exactly where Anubis wants to be in the middle of the enemies. So
Yeah.
I actually don't mind seeing an Anubis into a team that you think is going to be dive heavy.
I do think, however, that will be a jungle. I have seen Half Guy playing the Anubis jungle a little bit, maybe learning from Jackson. Jackson, it's your boy Sean, has also been touching with the Anubis jungle a little bit. Normally on that like double hunter thing as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if Married Men are looking for double hunter. But yeah,
Yeah.
it just kind of this blink one shot potential or the turn potential is kind of insane.
Well, Yanis ban and followed by a Bakasura ban. So if it is a jungle, Biogravity haven't keyed onto it quite yet, as they do ban away
Yeah,
Bakasura. Um, Hebo is still open here. If this is an Anubis jungle, do we see Rex pulling out the Hebo?
Kepri. Uh, I could see Rex pulling out the Hebo. It's very good if you're looking for the mid laner that dives. It's Hebo. I don't know about the Kepri ban when you have Achilles.
When you,
I
when
don't
you
know
got
if
the
you're
counter
really,
pick already.
yeah, I don't know if you're really scared of the Kepri. And Rama and Anubis. Anubis potentially just kills with follow up. Probably just kills the Kepri with a sash and ult.
Well,
Don't know if
hang on one sec. They have actually ended up banning Discordia along with Baka. So maybe they banned the Baka and then someone said, hang on, that might be Anubis jungle. So they've decided to ban Discordia as well.
yeah, or they didn't know where it was going, so banned the two that annoyed them the most out of both roles and said, "Yep, that'll do."
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair with
I will leave
Ganesh being hovered.
standing
I
no
do
This is
like that.
very
barrier
good
to our
anti-dive from
success.
Married
Yeah,
Men. I really, if Biogravity are looking for heavy dive with this top three, Married Men have countered it absolutely brilliantly. You know, Ram takes to the sky, and Anubis and Ganesh want people to be on top of them. When they get caged inside the Dharmic pillars with the Death Gaze coming out, that's going to be a lot of damage. And an Achilles will be right there to clean up with an execute.
you see the Cav. They're going.
There's
They're
no
going this
way
dive
out!
as the Agni. I don't know if that's the pick for the dive comp.
Time to
Yeah, especially when
burn!
Tiamat is open. And I know Carter a little bit, and I know that Carter is a very good Tiamat player. And I think with this comp that you've built, surely you just throw that Tiamat into the middle lane and just dive in with your whole team. But at the same time, I also don't really mind it considering how Married Men so far have countered the dive comp.
Yeah, and they are opting for this double hunter. So actually, I
Warriors,
think
to battle!
Anharama can both kind of go either way. So I don't know if we can really predict which way this will be mid or ADC. I think I do like the Rama mid more because it has that more early pressure, like lane pressure, than the Anher does. But both of them do well in mid.
Yeah, I'm talking. I mean, you are right about the lane, like the clear pressure from Ram. But as far as kill pressure goes, Arnho is right up there. He does so much damage, especially to mages in the early to mid game. But with how wide the mid lane now is, he's probably not that good because there's not a lot of walls to impale into. So maybe the ADC Arnho may be the better pick. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I do understand where they're going with the Agni with the full dive comp. And Agni having so much range poke, he could be able to still dish off the damage as it looks like we are getting into the start of the game here. But yeah, the Agni will, if he can position right, can deal a lot of damage once his whole team dives in, but is kind of scary for half. Half could just blink ult that Agni on cooldown, but again, they don't really have a lot of dive into the Agni, so thinking about it, I don't actually mind the Agni.
Yeah, as we are getting in, it will be me and Legs continuing on the cast off the desk. Lovely to be here. Thank you guys for spending an evening with us as we are getting into game one of Biogravity Finance versus Married Men, and it is indeed Anher in the ADC role. So,
Is
uh, very interesting. I think you did kind of touch correctly with the Ramen mid with that pressure. Probably a little bit safer as well from the dive of Thor and Agni. So I don't really mind seeing the Ramen mid. He just kind of takes to the sky, gives his team a long time to get there, and I'll peel him out a little bit.
touching on some builds. Invictus has gone Warbanner, which is always, to be fair, it is always good with Double Hunter. It will do well. But I think I kind of would have liked to have seen a Compassion coming out. Like, into this massive heavy dive comp, and you have a backline comp. I would have liked to have just seen him go kind of that aura and just get a Shoguns for the Hunters.
Yeah, get that heroism online, right? You know, if any sort of CC, you've got a lot of CC coming towards his backliners. If he's close with that compassion, could really change a fight. So maybe thinking a bit too hard about the double hunter instead of thinking more about the enemy team here. But we'll have to wait and see how it goes for him.
Yeah, as I think level. Actually, it is a bit rough for the Kabrakan in this lane with the Ganesha. He has two ways of being able to stop that tremor. I think pressure should go to the Anher. Oh, as there's some fights in mid, someone's getting poked. Oh, Adlaz is nearly dead. Oh, Adlaz.
Oh,
the house. First blood.
Solo kill to the Yom. House kind of just unsen as unfortunately Moss does go down. That's rough, especially for the solo lane. You know, you come back, no blue buff, half a level probably to a full level down here. You've missed that wave. That is a tough break, but Biogravity get on the board nice and early with that first blood.
Yeah. I am prone to this in my casual games. Sometimes you disrespect the Yorm damage. I'm assuming he probably used double dash and just got completely poked out and destroyed by pools and the bellow. Is that what it's called? Consuming bellow?
Consuming bellow, yes, I do believe. But yeah, you're right. That Yorm does so much damage and you just don't realize. It's just like suddenly you look down and your health bar's gone. Especially with that tainted breastplate, it does look like he's going for that build I mentioned with the tainted steel and the Cronus pendant. You know, a lot of damage, cooldown reduction as well. He will be slapping pretty hard. This could be a pretty rough lane. Obviously, the Achilles good in regards to dealing damage in the ultimate, but his laning phase against the Orb quite rough. There's a leap in from PH. Not a lot comes off it though.
Also, Adlar's going into, I can't remember what, Bauble? Is that what's that thing called? Earring?
Yeah.
Earring or something?
The earrings hang on. Half has come over to the house. Stun doesn't come off.
Does have ults up
just
though.
at level 5. Doesn't
if
look
you can
like
get away. Yeah, good. I like it. Being able to hold that ult with the half guard gank, he kind of stopping half guard from being able to come back again with no ult. Good patience for House.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. I could have sworn that there'd be a lot more damage coming out there, and I'm very shocked that House didn't actually have to use the ult to get out of that. There's all good impale comes out from PH. Dookie just a little bit low. This duo lane a level down right now. Could be a matter of the fact that the Ganesh does kind of just silence everything that Kabrakan wants to do, as far as lane goes.
I don't actually know where that lead came from. Duo, I guess. Some minions going on the tower. But I don't think that stops XP, so I don't know where they've gotten this lead from. But they have it.
I'm not too sure. I think that's probably the second shield buff. It could. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if one shield buff could be the difference factor there. So, hard stunning the wave. Very odd thing for Magni to just put the stun in the middle of the wave. I think he just used it again though. Either way.
Yeah, is that even? It's not. Surely that's not useful for clearing wave.
I wouldn't think so.
Rather that for stuns.
Yeah, it's like 6
games.
damage. Good silence from Invictus, gets the beads out of Dookie. Good leap in and impale. This is what I was saying before about that impale. There's no real room to do it as both ultimates come out. Dookie with the hot Nikes breaks the ankles and will survive. Less than 100 HP is a scuffle going on in middle. Weave gets super low, but Melvs comes in, cleans up, lands on the Anubis who's just finished the Death Gaze, and Angel's just got to retreat. That was a bit of scrapping on the map.
It is a 1-for-1 trade, but jungle for support, I think that is worse for BGF. As there's a little bit of poke coming out mid, but going back to that right side, on these like safe hunters, especially Hachi in particular, you kind of want to use your ult before your beads most of the time, because the beads also nearly killed him there, because if it just ulted, he could have got under the tower and he wouldn't have nearly died. Whereas the beads does stop him from dying, like in that instance, but doesn't really get him away. And ult is up much faster than beads are.
Yeah, you're looking at like what 100 seconds compared to 170. In regards to ult compared to beads most of the time. So it's a good point. I don't know if he was did he beats the silence or did he beats the grab? Half comes over just to deal. He does do a lot of damage. Yeah, that's still 40% of the Yorm health there. Manages to steal away the cooldown buff.
I would like to have seen Half go towards this. Do it. It is hard for Half to. I actually wouldn't mind Half just farming at the moment because like how are you gank or putting pressure on mid? Because like how are you ganking these side lanes really with things up as he looks like he's really getting soloed by this Yorm.
Yeah, House doesn't care. That is a full Chronos Pendant House, and Blue buff invade looked to have been attempted, but while Half was kind of messing around with House, it seems like Moss was just doing the blue buff by himself. So good heads up play from Moss just to get his own farm, make sure that it doesn't get invaded.
And Half guy opting for the full Doom Orb, where some people, a lot of the time recently, if you are getting Doom Orb, I've seen people do the second tier. Is that, I know there was a patch come out where they changed some power so you didn't get more from tier 2 or not, but I don't know if they did that to Doom Orb.
No, I don't believe Doom Orb was changed. But the thing with Doom Orb is that it is one of those items that you can get the tier 2 and still be pretty happy. It still gives a passive at that tier 2 rank. You know, obviously, like, the base stats are a bit lower as we've... Blink ult's in only onto Angel, but it was on a bit of a funny angle as Melbs...
Missed the ult.
Yeah, I would assume that Melbs was in the air looking for the play off of the ultimate, but they don't really get anything. No beads used, no ultimates used on the side of Married Men. But 2 ults used from By Gravity.
Kind of nothing staying, still kind of even with First Blood. Married Men are actually a hair above BGF. Which is probably coming from the pressure they have in the duo side, getting totems, getting cooldown buffs and shield.
Uki and PH. Oh,
It's the halls. Ooh. I like it. I like the aggression.
well, I mean, that's right what you were saying before, wasn't it? You know, he used the ultimate instead of the beads. Manages still to get the ultimate out of PH as well, so both hunters are a bit susceptible here. I'd say PH a pretty decent gank right now for Melbs. Doesn't have the ultimate just to CC immune for 3 seconds and just pour out damage.
The Half guy looping around doesn't have the ult up. This is where using the beads may have helped. Oh, the ticks!
Oh, the auto's
but
good though.
PH secures the auto. Some of the ticks went missing there from Half. The zigzag from Dookie. It's nearly saving his life.
Yeah, it was a good little play from Dookie to attempt to get out of that. It's just unfortunate that PH hits those. But that is the death gaze used. So, unfortunately, Dookie loses the beads. Ultimate halfway to coming back. Might have to play a little bit safer in this lane as he's now losing a wave under the tower too.
Yeah, that will be at least a level and a half, I think, for PH. Coming back now after losing the whole wave and getting the kill. I like this from House, just slamming pressure, even diving tower. To really put the pressure onto this Achilles. Look for it, it just gets ult just from being there.
Yeah, ultimate is forced. And I mean, I know the house is about half health, but you got to remember that that half health is basically 15% health. Melbs lands in the back line, doesn't hit either of the stuns. Beads forced out of him by Half. Half's getting really low here. Good ultimate from Moss, but doesn't connect onto House, who's low, and Half may fall here unless the peel's good. Melbs gonna chase the kill. Moss gets one. He's coming in. He might get the other one here too, I think.
Oh, and that is a great turnaround for Moss. Getting first blooded. I think he was still a little bit ahead even with the first blood, but now double kill. He's got himself a level lead as well in the solo lane.
Yeah, that's at the end of the day a really rough gank from the boys of BGF. You know, Melbs couldn't find any sort of landing on that ultimate, couldn't hit the stun, and I guess it's the good thing about this Anubis jungle, right, is that he can kind of put the hands down and run away, and he's still going to do a bulk ton of damage. As PH gets looked at, ultimate comes out of Weave, ultimate comes out of Dookie as well, and PH just elects to break the wall and walk out. But Dookie gets stuck by the Dalek pillars, and PH picks him up. Oh, a tragedy in the duo lane. PH finds the kill thanks to a good rotation from Invictus, a good Dalek pillars. And a good a sand pillar? Is that what's it called from a...
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 2 good pillars, and it traps Dookie in, can't find the dash, and can't find any HP remaining.
Juki just kind of overextending for that kill. Thought. I don't know if I saw the ult damage go off.
Hang on
the
a second.
Hachi ult.
Melbs is up in the air here. Lands on a PH who doesn't have ultimate anymore. One auto will find the kill. Invictus probably safe here. I mean, I know that he's got 2 people pounding on him here, but Halfback is around the corner. The wrap comes out. Doesn't quite connect, but the death gaze more than enough damage. Melbs goes down.
So yeah, kind of just some shit fighting going on in this duo side right now. I don't really know who this is worth for right now. Married Men are 2k up after this though, or a little under 1.5, probably more. So.
It's very odd to see BGF lose the fight and then still get the invade, but I guess that is thanks to Carter rotating out, who has rotated a couple of times. We've seen him on the duo side, sorry, soul side twice, as he's in a spot of bother here. Angels come in from mid, who doesn't have a tower anymore, but no real follow-up. A lot of ultimates already used, I think.
We've kind of been in these sidelines a lot. Could not tell you when that mid tower fell.
Well, I think Carter's rotated. I think we've seen him in solo twice and obviously duo just then. Whereas I don't think Angel has rotated. It's just ticks over to 12 for Carter. So I think maybe like half a level lead in mid for Angel right now. And obviously leaving a Rama mid alone, he will take that tier 1 tower, no issue.
I would like to draw attention to a build. Angel is 1-0, but he has gone Transcendence Asai. On the Rama, which I think Transcendence is not the greatest on the Rama. I would have liked to have seen him just go the like XE crit build with the build he's going for right now, but opting for a little bit more basic attack damage, I guess.
Yeah, as a known hunter enjoyer, you're not a big fan of the build. I've seen this RC popping up a little bit. Do you know why? I'm not too. I know Sharks has had a couple of things about it saying he doesn't like it. We'll get back to that in a sec. Weave is in. Death Gaze comes out, but Death Gaze is not doing a lot of damage. The ultimate out of Dookie, however, is doing damage. Weave's super low, but Melbs picks up half first. Weave going for his namesake, trying to weave around. Can't avoid the third shot from Angel as he goes down, and this is a huge fight for BGF here. All the boys on Married Men super low, have to go away, but hang on. Melbs overcommits, gets poked out, dies. And now Moss is chasing down the mid laner. Carter falls as well, and this is turned around real quickly for Married Men. Dookie leads to 4, and this is House all by himself. That Yorm has no World Serpent to get away. That's a dear side for the boys. That'll be the beacon claimed by Married Men, and wowza, what a show.
Just a couple of over committing again. Like Melbs hits the ult, goes big, but then kind of chases to try and look for Angel after he had already used everything though, which kind of just got Melbs out of position, which kind of forced his team to stay around a little bit. And then they just kind of fell off one by one.
Yep, that is a Gold Fury on the back end. The stuff after the stuff, that's what we do like to see. I like them just to go get a little bit of gold for the team there with those comeback chests. Yeah, I don't really know how that went so wrong. It just kind of came out of nowhere, and it was looking real good for BGF at one point. Like everyone on Married Men was kind of low, and I think, you know, Moss just kind of came in and turned the whole fight around.
Yeah, I can never tell with these fights that are going on, to be honest, because it looks good at the start for one team, and then I'm assuming maybe some discommunication or target selection, and it just, whichever team started it, it just flips, and the other team just wins.
This game is getting out of control pretty quickly, man. Like, we're looking at nearly a 6k lead, you know. What is this? We're looking at a 5k lead bang on right now for Married Men. BGF probably going to struggle a little bit leading into this late game. They're looking at a team with 2 Hunters in it and an Anubis. You know, it's only going to get worse from here, right?
Yeah.
This could be a bit worrying for BGF.
And typically in these dive versus backline matchups, you kind of expect the dive to have that early pressure so that they can kind of carry it on, and hopefully their lead that they get from the early can outweigh the heavy backline comp from the other team. But with the backline comp having the lead at the moment, these late game team fights will get increasingly worse for BGF.
Yeah, I think it's only going to get worse before it gets better for BGF, as they're looking at just kind of taking a fight around this Pyromancer maybe. Looks like Dookie's on his way, maybe. No, he's stopped for the Oracles. I'd love to see Dookie just not come to these fights. He's 3 levels down to PH right now. He's a full item behind in the build, you know, it's a full chins. That's a lot of damage that he's lacking. I think he just needs to sit in that lane and just farm and do his best not to fight PH. Looks like he's
Did not
completely ignored that, and he decides to take the fight. That ultimate not enough to get him away. Beads used. Ultimate comes out of Arna, and oh, the Desert Fury not quite enough to get the kill. Dookie gets away with 200 health, but Pyromancer started straight away by Married Men. Deathgaze comes out. Married Men secure out of the ultimate from Weave. Couldn't find the damage. Invictus is getting a little bit low. Has the leap, and oh no. Thor's come in at the back end of it. Looks like Invictus should fall at the back end of this. Shell
The shell
is really good. Keeps him alive for a minute. Melbs picks up the kill on the back end though. House is rotated in. And oh, Moss gets the execute right there. That's beautiful timing from Moss. House couldn't get into the world serving quick enough. As Moss looks like he may be overcommitting a little bit though. He does have that second ult. No, it runs out. Moss falls down. A bit of an awkward overcommit.
Yeah, and it looks like Angels, as soon as he come down, yep, dies to Melbs as well. At least that fight, again, it kind of flip-flopped. It looked like it was BGF at the start, and then the pickup from Married Man, and then it just flipped again. And King Carter dished out a lot of damage onto their backline.
Yeah, these bombs doing a little bit of damage here as they're going into tier 1 tower. And I mean, we saw right there, that's the counter matchup I'm talking about in regards to the Achilles into the Yorm. And you just don't see it. You know, Yorm players like to get nice and low before they go into that world certain, but you can't. You've got 35% of your health that you cannot play with. And if you're going into the world serpent after that execute icon shows up, it's already too late. Achilles is already coming for you, and you will not survive.
Yeah, as long as Adelaide keeps time in these, as you can almost pretty much do it as soon as you see the CC immunity come out from the Yorm ult, and I'm pretty sure you still beat the timer, and you'll pretty much always get that kill.
Yeah, I think it's slightly faster. So the second you see that execute icon pop up, if you're a Jormungandr, it's too late. You're already gone. But Carter is just using those fumes to clear the wave. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I want to keep seeing Adelaide do what he was doing in that fight and just stay in this backline, don't get carried away, trying to be a traditional solo laner and diving backline, being in this as this team fight. BGF stole that with the Thor hammer, I'm assuming.
It has to be. No one else got it. No one else got into range, unless it was maybe like a long range auto out of Dookie. I got to think that was Mjolnir's achievement that stole that. Oh, the problem with this comp, they've got so much burn on Married Men's side, but they don't really have any secure.
Yeah, no, you kind of just racing your DPS as your secure.
Yeah, like all of their ultimates are just, you know, multiple ticks of damage as opposed to just one big hard hit. So. Yep, Married Men lose the Gold Fury, and that's kind of turned this game around a little bit. It's dragged that lead down to about 3k.
Yeah, they're getting back into it.
Yeah, BGF indeed getting back into it is... I really do just want to see Dookie stop fighting. Every time the camera pans back over to Dookie, he's just fighting on her. You know, he was fighting him on the back amps before. Looks like he might try and go for a fight here. Good build up, forces the dash out, but heads up from Dookie. Wow. Just ults away.
2 hunters in this game have rage, and I am not a fan. I think, especially if you have arrow, Deathbringer and the arrow and ornate is easily enough crit. I think after you stack it, it's like 55%, I think, crit chance, which is every second auto. I don't think, and rage with Dookie, he could have just got kins, he could have just gone full pan. I'm not a fan. And House just dies.
Yeah, House getting a little bit susceptible here in the Jormungandr. Can't get in the ultimate quick enough. Melbs goes into the backline onto Angel. No beads available. The Aegis was though. It's just enough to stop the damages. Melbs has to pop double relic to try and get away from half, but I don't think it's going to work. Angel rolls in, finds Melbs. That's 3 down for BGF.
Yeah, kind of just split up team fight. Melbs did really well. Unlucky to not find a couple kills there actually. I think he could have secured a couple. And yeah, these double hunter comp getting into it. PH is humongous, level 19, like racing the clock right now, and there's not really anyone close to him. The closest being 17.
Yeah, that is rough. The second the PH rotates into these fights, it's going to be really hard as the bomb's not enough to secure the fire giant. Oh, sorry, the red buff as they now lead towards the fire giant. PH is here. I have to wonder if there is just a pull attempt. As I said though, they've got a lot of burn. They don't really have any secure. you know, those Agni bombs probably a lot more secure than anything that Married Men have to offer.
Yeah, with the double bombs, I think that is actually enough secure if they time it right, to out secure an Agni and definitely a Thor hammer, hopefully. Normally though, with those bombs, you kind of have to stop the DPS to let those bombs just secure it by itself and not try and like power it while the bombs are securing. As
Oh,
again, just they have great count. They have a great team into this Jormungandr first pick, and I like that they actually realized that they built this team comp around it. And
yeah.
this
I
Jormungandr
think
just
Married
died.
Men are just in the lead this game purely on draft. Like their draft was so good. They saw what BGF were attempting in the top three, and then just completely counterpicked it. As Death Gaze comes out and Weave cannot get in there in time. Married Men take the first fire giant of the game at 20 minutes in.
One thing I would like to see from these two tanks going into this next item, I would like to see I would like to see both. I would like to see Relic Dagger, hopefully on Weave, to get this Witchblade online for this double hunter, and a Midgard I think will increasingly help House be able to try and survive these engages on him and trying to get his ult off at least.
Yeah, unfortunately there was no ultimate for House. He'd used it over in solo lane. As Married Men are now starting to group up a little bit. Still 3 towers on the map for BGF. I do want to see the BGF boys try their best just to farm up their own jungle here and attempt to get back into this game. It's looking grim, and Chin's finally bought by Dookie. You know, I know you said that you don't like the rage. I really don't like it because we're looking at an 0-3 and 1 Hachiman here. Part of one kill. Picking an item that's purely based on getting the stacks off kills, I think it's probably a bit rough as Weave just falls to the heavy CC of Married Men, and just a much better grouping.
Yeah, this heavy backline comp with the pick potential as well. You can't really, these tanks can't really be stepping up alone. They're not as tanky as they think against this team.
Yeah, not the heaviest defense build coming out of Weave. He has gone Stone of Binding Sov. The Sov's going to help him with those double hunters. It's not going to help him at all with the Death Gaze coming out of Anubis, as Melb's the only one here to defend this duo side. Gives up the tier 2. I think the boys have to get back here quickly. There are 4 people
Yeah,
running
they
down
got
duo
a
lane.
rush. I don't think they'll get here in time. They have double bombs as well. They could just double bomb the Phoenix as they do. It just falls.
Yeah,
Phoenix
double
down,
relics out
22
of
minutes.
Melbs. Melbs in the air. I don't think he's... Oh, he does go in. He lands on someone in the jungle there. I think it's half. No, it's not. It's Arnher. Arnher gets out of there. Moss comes in to clean up Melbs on the back end as Dookie's getting really badly poked out. Now they've been caught in a pincer. Married Men coming from the left and the right. Weave in a lot of trouble here. I don't see Weave getting out of this. As nope, split aggression here. Angel does eventually find Weave. House does well just to disrupt in the back line, and Married Men aren't finished. They're looking for this mid-tier, mid-Phoenix.
Yeah, and I think they'll get it. Honestly, this BGS team hasn't been able to back up. They have opted to just fall back and reset for this. Trying to get. I would like to see some ward pressure around this fire giant early. Try and look for another pick. Try and stagger these death timers a little bit for this next fire.
Yeah, I like this reset call. I wouldn't have minded if they tried to just raw dog this tier 2 in solo lane, but obviously with no minions, they weren't the healthiest. They do have fire giant sustain, but I don't mind this little reset call. Beacon is up. It did say charging, so we're looking at a beacon in 2 minutes. You know, probably
And
roughly about the time the fire giant will be up to.
at the moment, it looks like it's going to go down solo lane unless some towers get taken. And I think that's probably where they want it. Maybe duo lane probably would. Obviously, they can't get duo lane now, but duo lane is always optimal for the Titans to go down. But solo lane just good. They could pressure. I'd like to see maybe get Titans, try and shove that wave a bit, get the Titan at the tier 2, then fall back onto the fire giant, pick it up.
Yeah, probably not a horrible call at all. Use that Titan just to get into tier 2, take that off the map, and then keep pushing. It's going to be pretty hard for Fire Gravity to push up and defend the Fire Giant if they've got the enemy Titan sitting there banging on the doors. You know, do you reckon it'd be worth it if, like, when the Titans are about to get released, you just, like, come in and just, like, hit a Phoenix just once? Say, like, we're looking at this situation and you want, like, the Titan to come down solo side, and, you know, you've only got the middle and the right Phoenix left, and that's it. Would it be worth just to send someone in just to hit Phoenix once and get out? That way Titan comes down middle lane. You know what I mean? Or maybe like hit the middle, get it to come down solo lane so that they've really got to spread their team apart.
That is some thinking, I feel like it could, if it, like, at the moment, I don't think it would really matter which tower they hit. They can't really opt it now, but like if the towers, like if it's like an even state across the board, it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe get a split push to try and force the Titans down one lane. It could be
Yeah.
some tech that we're yet to see actually. And
Yeah.
Half Guy just picked up Melbs in duo lane actually.
Yeah,
He's
where did
trying
that?
to push up this fire giant wave, I guess, or fire wave.
Yeah, that's an odd pickup. Everything, well, not quite everything available. Actually, I think everything was available for Melbs. Looks like his beads cooldown had just been used, so beads, ultimate, and Aegis all available. Still manages to die to the Anubis death gaze. It does look like the blink was used. Maybe he just really caught him off guard as Anubis now gets picked out, trying to go for that beacon, and the boys are running down. BGF in a spot of bother here. Both relics used by Dookie. He will still fall. And House in a bit of an awkward spot, forcing that World Serpent early, and I don't know which team got the beacon, but it looks like that Married Men are probably going to head to that Fire Giant.
I actually don't like what Married Men did there. I feel like they had the pick already. They had the Stagger Death time and they had the 5v4. I feel like they could have just went straight to Fire Giant instead of looking for a pick. They then lost half. I think it is pretty much uncontested still with them being so high up, but just a little, gave them a little bit of chance of contention on the Fire Giant as Melbs is going up.
Melbs looks to be sending it in a little bit too early. Might be able to find Invictus. No way. That elephant's pretty tanky and the shell's enough to keep him alive. Fire Giant goes down once again, and Married Man is... Looks like there's a bit of a primal period of compensation prize for BGF and Titans. Sending it into a solo side right now.
Yeah, they got the Fire Giant. They're just going to look to run down this right side. With one more Phoenix Waves 2 pushing into that left side. If it goes unanswered, it very well could just take it. As Carter looks like he's going to it. As the team groups down this right side.
Yeah, that duo side should be fine. Carter's on it, but the Auto Titan has already been driven back. Chaos walking down solo side. Dookie, the lone defender here, weaves on his way. But he might have to be a bit careful here. He doesn't want Half to kind of just shop out of the jungle. Blink not available. Wrap doesn't quite make it as I think it would have hit. But I think that
Quick dash.
I think this might be a give up the tier 2 kind of stage. Moss looking for a blink in. Must be on a ward. Cops a bomb over the wall from Carter, and looks like tier 2 defense is on the cards. Dino Pillar comes out. Everyone manages to get out of it except for Weavers. He's now caught in an awkward spot, and Victus misses the dash, ends up in Phoenix, and Moss is taking a lot of damage on the back end.
Dishing out. Carter's dishing out so much damage there while they're all
Oh. Good blink out of Weave to avoid the shots coming from Angel as Melbs sends it in the backline, hits 2 people, doesn't manage to find anything off it, gets out with his life, and his Titan falls. Phoenix, 1/3 health,
Yeah.
still alive though.
Still a solid defense for the moment. It seemed successful at the time. I think Married Men nearly have to back off from this and try again.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what the difference was there. I think maybe just Invictus missing that dash. If he doesn't miss that, Weave probably falls. You know, and I
Yeah.
mean, Angel takes to the sky to try and get the kill on Weave instead of just kind of pushing. Maybe if Angel looks for damage on the front line, that might have been different, but instead goes to the air as Ram, and that's a lot of DPS loss just trying to kill the support in the back.
The one thing that Agni does bring into this comp is the siege defense. He has very safe, secure, and DPS in general. Just from even when he's bombing the wave, you can't really stand around it because you will be taking a lot of damage from him at the moment.
Yeah, and those bombs aren't small. They take up a long, long part of the lane. So you're right. You can't go near the wave. It's hard to push into an Agni, especially when he's got 3 of those bombs stored up. That wave will be gone instantly, and you're kind of just raw dogging the Phoenix, trying to get in there with no minions. You know, backdoor protections do make those Phoenixes quite hard to kill.
Yeah, I think the siege you kind of have to have maybe Adlars initiate on the Agni, try and get someone to get this Agni away from the wave so that they can't, so their hunters can actually hit the Phoenix, as they have found House, and I don't see him getting away even with ult. Half Guy is down the lane. And, yep, he falls, and that's another good pick. I think House could have seen that coming. They just failed at the right siege. They gone up and left duo side is back up, so they're always gonna go down back that way again. So I think just a little bit of lack of knowledge at the time from House.
Yeah, looks like the siege is coming out, so Bubble popped out of Invictus very quickly, but what popped even quicker is that Phoenix's Melbs goes to the sky. Maybe a little bit too late. I don't see him sending it into the backline here. It's surely either a death or losing all of his relics, and he elects just to go back to base.
Carla's still trying his best to just put them as big. About half now. Half gets stunned. Beads comes out.
Yeah, good fight here from Married Men as Moss goes into the back line, gets one execute, can't find the other because the Aegis is good enough to keep him alive, but half finds Weave. The Phoenix does go down. We're looking at a 5v2 here. House only just now respawning. Beads forced out of Carter, and that makes it a little bit hard for him to survive. All three Phoenixes die, but Dookie's found the kill on an Angel.
Yeah, I think even with the Angel fall, that is just Married Men are loving. They just reset now, get ready for this EFG that's about to spawn with 3 Phoenixes down. Unless BGF are able to find someone on this chase down.
Yeah, House manages to catch onto him, and Invictus uses the dash. The shell comes out as well, but House stuck on this pillar. What a good pillar from PH. Moss manages to find the kill. The turnaround is here. Half gets Dookie, and Invictus still here. Carter definitely going to fall and look legs. I'm thinking that's game 1 in the books.
That could be game. Melbs and Weave will probably be solo defending this. They are a little bit low. Melbs can find a big ult, but it's looking rough at the moment. With
minions already in the Titan room though. Thor and Kabrakan not exactly the best clear, especially when the Kabrakan's full defense, and this could be rough. I gotta think this is game. It's a full health Moss going into the backline. Weave sends it, but the Death Gaze comes out. It's a lot of damage onto the Titan. Weave already gone. Melbs low, decides to send it on half, gets 1 kill. Can't get the second one as the kill is 10 back on him, and that will be game. Married Men take game 1.
Very good game for Married Men. That they played that comp very well, especially into they picked their comp great into BGF, making the top pick Yorm pretty much negligible. And that's what you get for first pick in Yorm. You can't get counted. Not unbeatable.
Yeah, I think that Married Men just played that draft so beautifully. That was like really just the defining factor, was the ability just to recognize what BGF were trying to do with their draft and just to turn it around.
Yeah, very, very good lead. Very good win. PH just got off to a humongous lead in the duo lane. Dookie just looking to take a bit too many fights, especially with his build, especially once he had gone Devo's XE and going into Rage. As soon as he starts going into Rage and PH goes into that like next attack speed item after already having second item Kins, you're kind of just setting up to you're not taking fights, especially while you're like 2-3 levels down. But he took them, and they paid the price for it.
Yeah, it's a couple of really good slash lines coming out of Married Men. The 10 and 2 Achilles, 11-1 Arnher, obviously the 2 that stand out. But another one that really stands out to me is this 0-1 and 23 Ganesh. You know, Invictus part of, 23 out of the 30 kills for Married Men. I think the highest kill Yep, definitely. He had the highest kill participation on the team. Really like an unsung hero of that game, if you ask me. Really, really good showing from the Ganesh. And we do have to give a shout out to the 6 and 9 Thor. We love to see a good slash line. 6 and 9, maybe.
Love it. Yeah, the Ganesh has been seeing a lot of play recently. Kind of just on its nuisance. It just is so annoying, especially for your backline, especially if you're doing full dive comp. It's just like you just get silenced, protections are getting out, you're diving into a full cage that does like half your health and damage for some reason. And it kind of just ruins their team comp.
Yeah, speaking of damage, some decent numbers coming out. 33k for PH, the real standout there. There's a real overall team performance coming out of Married Men.
Yeah, as it looks like, I think we will take a little break. I think just play a quick video as we get ready for this next game 2 of BGF Married Men. And we are back for game 2 of BGF Married Men. It's still
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the OCL. Game one in the books. Married Men take a one-game lead in this best-of-3 set against Gravity Finance. Now, legs, did they go about how we were expecting it to go?
yeah, I think just based on comp and BGF just couldn't find that early lead they were wanted to get from that dive comp they had. I think going into late, I think it was just kind of a comp diff at the time. I don't know if it was necessarily on the bands itself, but I think it was just general comp diff.
Yeah, I think Married Men just identified nice and early what BGF were trying to do, and they managed to counterpick it absolutely beautifully, and in the process, build themselves a really good team comp.
Yeah, Double Hunter is picking up a lot of steam at the moment. It's just kind of looking very dangerous if you can have a team around it that facilitates them, as seen.
Well, heading into picks and bans for game number 2, anything that we're looking at kind of amending for BGF? Are you thinking anything you didn't like? I mean, I think I liked BGF's comp in general. I just think that Married Men played into it. They built into it and played into it really well.
Yeah, specifically these first 3 bans from both teams last game, I actually didn't mind either of them. I think it was just really Merry Men got to identify it, like with the counter, the Yorm first pick, and then they didn't really have an answer for their picks. It was just kind of a grafter, so I wouldn't be surprised. There's a Yorm coming out, which they do have first pick again, BGF, so just opting to not play the Yorm this game, which is good because it could just, if they picked first pick the Yorm again, it could just force Married Men into the same comp they just had, and they don't really want to deal with that again.
Yeah, I like this. I like this bubble ban on the other side from Married Men. Keep Carter off one of the really good majors right now. I think is a very key factor to winning these picks and bans. Is Carly once again banned? Definitely a target ban. I think Carly very good right now. I don't know if she's first ban phase must ban kind of deal, but still a decent ban into half.
Yeah, as the only thing changing out of these top 3 is Yamoja is open. Which I don't know if Yamoja is first pickable. I kind of like it better, like your second, third picks at the moment. I think
Well,
as they do,
Tremble
they
beneath the
do get it. They go
waves.
for the Yamoja first pick.
yeah, I know we've been slamming this. I think Yada pointed out to me the other day he ran 16 casuals in a row of nothing but Yamoja.
I mean, fair enough. As a support, you kind of gotta always have that Yamoja in the back pocket. It's always just a top support. And it never, since its release, it kind of just hasn't not been a top support.
Yeah, I think Yamoja always just kind of has a position in most team comps. Well, not most team comps, but in a team comp where she's good, she's always going to be good, and I don't think any real manners of
The
nerfs are
law
going to change that.
returns to this
And I think
land.
that's why she's always kind of strong. If a team knows how to play her, play with and around her, and build a team around her, I think Yamoja is just always going to be one of the best supports.
As we see Tia Rama come out, I do like the Tia. It is high pressure in solo lane, and Adlaz is quite good on that pick. And kind of a rough top 2 for BGF to kind of have a counter into. You can kind of counter Tia with a couple of picks, but Rama kind of nothing really counters that god at the moment. So like to see what BGF probably is gonna opt into more of a what they want for their whole team comp instead of like counter picking.
Looks like they're opting for a Sky God themselves as the Wukong locked in. Uh, I'm unsure about the Wukong. I don't know how good. I'm not really up to date on solo right now. I don't know how good he is.
Yeah, not
Hachiman,
really
however, I
either.
do know is quite good.
I will
Wukong's
win
kind of
peace
safe.
by
You
force.
do kind of go that more damagey build, I think, which kind of puts more pressure on the kill pressure for Wukong to be able to take out the backliners, which kind of can give the jungler more of a facilitator role. You don't have to go like full damage to be able to want to kill the backline.
I will leave
See the
standing no
Ganesh get picked up
barrier
again,
to our
Yeah,
success.
which is
I'm
very
I'm
good on
happy
the
with that.
Wukong. If a Wukong goes into the backline, you get silence. You can't really ult the time you want to, and you can just get CC locked.
Yeah, I'm a big fan once again of this Married Men top 3. I don't mind the BGF top 3, but I think that Married Men have kind of just smashed it again here.
Yeah, as the Giannis comes out again. I don't know why the Giannis bans are I guess respecting Carter, I guess, has a Giannis. I haven't really seen Carter play Giannis, or they
Yeah,
just don't like playing against a Giannis.
I've never really thought of Carter as a Giannis player. I know that Rex is, so maybe this married men are just used to playing with it and they know like how annoying it could be. Maybe there's some tech that we don't know about. But I've always thought of Carter as more of like that Agni Tiamat player. So it's odd that they've banned Giannis Discordia. When he just played the Agni, he did really well in the Agni. I wouldn't say it was his fault at all for losing that previous game. I think he played it quite well. So it's odd to give him the option to run that back.
Yeah, as BGF looking to ban out more hunters, trying to take away from married men. I wouldn't be surprised. Yep, on her ban as taking away from married men's option to really go into fall into double hunter again. Because that's kind of all of the top hunters at the moment taken off the table. If they're doing double hunter, they kind of have to fall back on something. Maybe a Jingwei if they are opting for double hunter again.
Or a Chernobog as well wouldn't be too awful.
As it doesn't look like they are opting for the Scylla mid if this does get locked in.
I'm a
Which has
monster!
you kind of want the CC around you to be able to hit your abilities on that. You kind of don't want to be freehanding them. With the Ganesh and Tia, it is pretty good CC lockdown for the Scylla to be able to hit abilities.
Yeah,
As
the tier the tier's a
ooh,
bit here and there though, because I mean if Tier can feel someone into a wall, it's very good, but Tier could also just kind of throw someone straight out of that armor monster.
yeah, very true. As we see Ichel hovered, which I think this will be the first showing of Ichel
Ishel.
we've seen in OCL. I do know. I'm pretty sure that Ixchel does kind of want to be like a semi-dive hunt mage because you kind of want your tanks or your junglers to be something that's going to get in there, so you have something to ult through. Because a full tick of that ult, if you can go through someone and hit the other person, it goes for so long and it will just like rip anybody to pieces.
Yeah, I've noticed the thing with this shell ult is it can go for a long time. I think it's like 6 seconds or something at max. Like if you can maximize it.
Yeah.
So
Although at the same time, it is not like it is very easily pickable. He does have a little bit of movement speed, some self healing. Self healing isn't too like amazing, but has a root, has a bit of anti dive, but at the same time, it's not the safest pick. So definitely is. That's a very good god to be able to kill it as well.
Darkness
Merriman
falls
looking at
upon
picking up
you!
the second Sky God for their team is it is locked in. It is a Ram, it is a Camazotz, two Sky Gods here, a lot of safety. And I do like it. You know, if that Bakasura comes in, I always say Bakasura is not a character without his ultimate. So if you've got gods who can just kind of go to the sky, it makes Bakasura really hard to play. You know, because every time that you go in, you drop that ultimate. You know, Ram takes to the sky, Camazotz can take to the sky. You'd lose a lot of targets very quickly. And then once that ultimate's down, once that regurgitate is off the table, it does become really hard for Bakasura just to play the game.
Yeah, I think you kind of got to be expecting Melbs' target for most of these fights to be Angel. Kent does have a pretty good time, especially being able to CC the root, being able to chase down, cripple Asilla, I think will be his main target. Also does have a pretty good matchup into the tier. The tier crippled, can't really do much, can get body blocked by the minions, kind of gets stuck in there. So he has some targets for him to be able to go on this game.
Well, enough talking about the team comps. Time to look at the team comps in play as we are ready to get into game 2 of BGF versus Married Men.
Anything weird about these builds? Pretty standard builds coming out from both sides. I do like the war flag coming out from Weave this game, and I do like the watches as well. Watches you kind of want when you're expecting to like be in the backline, but you're not five manning backline, because like the three protection split is better with watches than it is with compassion. But if you like five manning backline, the compassion works better. So I do like both pickups on the both supports.
Yeah, there's also not a great deal of heavy CC on the side of BGF as opposed to last game. You know, last game you had the Yorm knockups, the Thor ultimate, the Agni bombs. There was a lot of CC coming that I would have liked to have seen a heroism picked up by Invictus. So, but this game, I do agree. I like the watches pick up this game. Will be really interesting to see.
Yeah, I think Mid pressure. I'm not actually too sure. I haven't played a lot of this show. I don't know how her early pressure goes, but she does get 2 abilities if she hits one on the god.
Yeah.
So
Does
I
it
think it
does
might
it work off
fall
hitting
into.
minions, or does it have to be a
No,
god?
it has to be a god, but if you can throw it through it and hit the god as well, I think it could be alright. I still think it outpressures Scylla early. Scylla early pressure, especially without the conduit, a little rough. You see, that is about how it's falled.
Good juice from Melbs to avoid a bit of that damage. Looks like the crush hit is quite low. His house is really low over in solo lane.
This is really low, but he has some pressure. He is standing up here.
He
With a
doesn't
blink
have
still up too, it could be rough for him to stay around at this health.
he doesn't have a relic. Do you reckon he's looking to see how the early game goes, and if he needs to, he'll get the TP, but if it goes well, he might just look at getting like a blink beads?
Yeah, I reckon that's would be what he's looking for. Oh, thank God he stopped that.
Yeah. Moss
Would have
Moss
been.
just a little bit too clean with it. He's got those fresh kicks on. My guy knows how to sidestep.
You see Weave going over the precious shield, not giving it up for free, as he did get it.
Harper is here. So is Angel. Angel blinks him. We've
Whoa.
so low here.
Whoa.
Managed to get away.
Okay, that's
The
what we
crush.
missed.
Oh,
my
it does the
goodness.
damage, but not enough. The Sikkim goes onto the wrong target, and Weave somehow gets away from a 4-man rotation.
Okay,
And
we missed that from looking at starter builds. Blink on Scylla.
yeah, if anyone's played any sort of casual game with Angel, they should have expected to see a blink coming out of him. There's I don't like it myself.
Yeah, I
But
also don't like it.
makes for some funny content.
I don't like if it's a game where Scylla isn't really contested in the backline, it could be pretty good pickup for like a cheeky one instead of Aegis. But he's going to be getting run at by this Bakasura, and without an Aegis, or I'm assuming he disregards Aegis and gets beads, especially this early game, especially once his Baka gets like a couple levels online, like level 10, like 9, 10, 11. Without beads, it could be rough.
Yeah, I think this would have been a really good shell game as well for Angel. You know, you've got the walls of Weave to worry about. Obviously, Scylla can get out of it, but between like the walls of Weave and plus the Regurgitate as well, I think a shell would have gone really big here. If you've got just a couple shells on the team, it can really make it so hard, especially if you proc them at different times. Just for Melbs to do any damage with that Regurgitate. I think Angel's missed a trick here by kind of falling into those casual habits a little bit.
One thing I don't like from both supports, none of them really opting for Sunder, which I am a humongous fan of Sunder, and people still opting for Shell Med, which are both never really bad options, but kind of like the aggressive options.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Sunder on something like Ganesh. Ganesh's got the ability just to hit the Sunder, grab someone and silence them, and it's a lot of damage. As Dookie decides to dash in, as now PH also has the dash to go in. Dookie's really low. 1, maybe 2 orders here. Should get it. 1, not enough.
Oh,
He's going to get away here. That's unlucky for PH not to find that kill, but good for Weave just to get in the way a little bit. As Mel's is here, has Regurgitate, blinks in. Regurgitate comes out. That's one of the shells. Victus super low, manages to get the leap off, but the leap is also there for Melb. Sorry, the dash from Invictus, and Melb's going to pick up first blood.
a little bit of an int dash for Dookie. Luckily, he had Moja with Riptide, but they went a little bit too hard, stayed around for too long, and Mel's managed to find his way over with a good counter gank as well, and found the first blood. Very clean.
Yeah, Dookie just went a little bit hard in the paint there as Half's decided to make his own rotation. Ultimate available for Half too, and that's a nice easy kill for him.
This is why we
PH goes to the sky. Might not have enough damage though. Melbs goes down to half health. Weave's still full. They're just going to walk away, and Half's going to try and get a bit of Bastion damage.
Yeah, this is why we back. I don't know why Dookie was still around. Maybe thought he would have been able to get purple, but they had got first blood. Honestly, even if you give up that purple, I think it's as the ult traded both in mid lane. Kind of nothing to going on there.
Yeah, that's a pretty heads-up play from Carter. You know, still holds onto the beads. The second that he comes out of that grab from Ganesh, goes into his own ultimate just so he can quickly maneuver out of Armor Monster. I think it's pretty heads up.
Getting gone on again. No ult now. Carter's gonna fall here.
Yeah, unfortunately, Half made a rotation straight in, and Carter decided to walk away from safety and take on the 1v3. And after making a really good play, decides to make maybe not quite a good play.
Yeah, I think stepping into that jungle, or staying around in that jungle when you know half was over there, and you have, I'm assuming they hadn't seen him again since, but without the lack of knowledge where Halfguard was it when he was just over and left, I don't think you're really stepping into that jungle after you've just used the XL ult.
Yeah, unfortunate for Carter. He does fall, but still a very even game. Only 300 gold in the way of BGF right now. All pretty even across the board. Just about a half level lead in the mid support, it would look like, for BGF. Just a bit of neutral farm diff, I think, but I do think that BGF probably looking a bit rougher going into the late game. I think this Bulbasaur might have a bit of issue. So I think that if they can try and get a bit more active early game, which they have been doing, it could lead them into a nice, steady mid to late game. I don't think you want to let this Scylla and this Ram cook too much.
It is still pretty much an even game at the moment, with First Blood going to Married Man, I think it was. As a little bit of a scuffle in mid. But it seems the start of these games, whoever gets First Blood doesn't really get a lead off of it, seems.
So it looks pretty good from Tyler to force out the ultimate from Scylla, and there you go, there's the Camazot's Bat Out of Hell as well. Two pretty big ultimates used from the side of Married Men, and that's a lot of safeties. Invictus getting gone on here. Ultimate comes out of the Emoja and out of the shell. But the Dark Pillars comes out might be enough just to keep Invictus alive for a second as Mel's decides to go into the tier 1 tower and Angel's chasing him, but I don't know if Zilla can win this. He does, he gets the Sikkim. He goes down, but Weave gets Invictus on the back end and Half manages to get away with his life.
Unlucky jump there from Melbs. Thought he had gotten the kill and just started running away. Realized he hadn't and stepped another foot back into the tower and just took another shot for nothing, really.
Moss? What are you doing? What are you doing, little bro? What are you doing here? Get back to solo lane. It's not 12 minutes yet, buddy.
Really looking for a cheeky pick on the XL as the ult's coming in. Didn't hit it. Hits a stun though. Very good stun. He's up, but he does have Halfguard coming around. Dookie might not know that Halfguard's there. As Melbs is here as well though.
Oh my word. Somehow manages to turn the fight around though. Half is in a bit of trouble. I don't know if a Riptide will get him, but Weave manages to take the tower. Melbs manages to find the auto attacks. That's a free 2 kill on the side of BGF.
Yeah, even I got baited there. I thought this was a rough fight for Dookie, but I did not see Melbs on the rotation as well. And managed to turn that fight.
Yeah, I can't believe how quickly PH went down there. Melbs kind of came in, and this is a Bulbasaur without ultimate and just kind of took him off the map relatively quickly. I don't know if there was a banner or something involved in there, but good little trade in that for BGF.
Yeah, PH come back and he's looking for the smoke again.
Yeah, it looks like Dookie didn't listen to you from last time, decides not to back, and the Scylla is also here, but the Scylla Ganesh aren't able to make it in. Dookie will eventually back.
To be fair to these ADCs not backing, you can get lost. There is once you're doing all the farm, like getting waves in between shield, getting waves in between purple, you kind of get lost in the farm. But Angel picks up Carter and the lazy back.
Oh yeah, the lazy back at the tier 1 tower. You hate to see it. Oh, Carter goes down for the second time this game. Angel picks up his second kill and a little bit of tomfoolery.
All things considered though, BGF still have amassed a little bit of a lead, 500, 600 gold. A little bit surprising actually.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of from this neutral farm. They do have the Bulbasaur, man. Like Bulbasaur, Golden Blade, got that E minion. Does find it pretty easy to farm the map. So I'm not too sure. It might just be a bit of just a farm diff here.
This is the most exciting ADC matchup we've seen because apparently PH and Dookie just fight the entire time.
Yeah, these guys refuse to leave each other alone, man.
Which, if you're an ADC player, you love to see it. If you're not, if you're on any of these guys' teams, you kind of don't like to see it. Most of the time, I'd be happy just with my ADC farming the entire game. But if I'm in ADC, I'm fighting.
Yeah, man, it's like me when the Cornettos come out. I just can't keep my hands off it. That's the boys over in Doyle Lane right now is more scuffles happening in mid as well. Could you from Cardos to avoid that little bit of poke? And I think the boys maybe trying to get a couple things off the map here before this beacon spawns. We are 90 seconds away from it. And Lex, what are you thinking has the better fight? Never mind, hold on to that thought for a second. Looks like PH is going to go down. Good roll. Oh, sorry, good dash from Dookie to catch the roll from PH, and no ultimates had to be expended from the Bakasura.
I know Melbs is finding a lot of success over ganking in his duo lane, which I did not actually expect in this team, but he's found a lot of work and he's keeping it going in his duo side pressure.
Yeah, we're even a bit of an awkward spot, but Dookie's coming to help. Oh, geez, those two waters just chunked Angel.
Ooh.
Has to use the armor monster to get out, and
And the blink!
the blink comes in, and the blink, the tech.
That's why he's got blink.
We don't know
That's
it, baby.
why he has it.
The stomach fillers comes out though, and Invictus does fall to Melbs and the regurgitate. And oh, what a play from Angel just to get out of that. Looks like it could be a Gold Fury, but they're gonna find half there, and they're going on him. See if they can force that bat out of hell out of him. Could make for an easy beacon fight, but instead they're going for the Gold Fury, and I'm not too sure this is the right call.
Yeah, no. They should be able to secure it. They do, and no one really around to follow up. Dookie is staying way too long. After his whole team has left him, he's probably just falling now.
Yeah, blinking from half. PH picks up that kill. Now Melbs is in a spot of bother. I don't know if that leap is up. There you go. Leap comes out of Melbs. That will get him out, but Gold Fury goes down. But at what cost? I think 1, maybe 2 kills here, and if Weave goes down, which he might, or half doesn't look like he can find it, but Beacon available to be captured, and 2 members of Merryman are here to do it.
As it doesn't look like they're letting Weave back. He's probably gonna fall once this minion wave goes through this tower. Does look like he will.
Yeah, there you go on the back end of that. 2 kills, most likely a Beacon. Oh no, unless Carter falls here as well. Actually, House has made the rotation, but so has Moss. Good double ultimate done from the Lawbringer, and the armor monster off the mark, but Damapillars separates his fight a little bit, and House is still here contesting. He does have that somersault cloud to fall back on if he needs to. Angel gets out of the way, and Adler's having a bit of fun just throwing people around the map here as Dookie's made the rotation in, and they're not wanting to give up this beacon at all. Adler's goes to the backline, good double fearless, doesn't quite get the damage on a Carter, does force the ultimate though.
Yeah, great double fearless from Tia.
Yeah, Dookie also uses the ultimate, and it looks like this beacon will finally go the way of Married Men, and I think just BGF are in such a good position there just to clear the mid wave, get a bit of tower pressure in mid, set up wards, and just kind of take that beacon for free and then transition that into the Gold Fury. Instead, they go for the Gold Fury, get super poked out, lose a couple of lives, and then lose the beacon.
Now, I'd like to put this down. Weave didn't have ult for that fight, and I'm not with the Scylla blink, the last engagement, any normal game, that is a great pick from Weave, getting that Scylla. But Scylla having blinking out of it, and then Yamoja not having an ult up for that beacon fight, it kind of made that beacon fight a lot more safer.
Ultimate's used in solo lane, blink out of Melbs as well. Oh my god, Mott's gonna do it again. He gets the double push. Luckily, House is tanking though, and House is a pretty tanky Wukong here, and House made the rotation. Maybe a spot of, maybe a little bit too late. Blink is about to come up though.
Yeah, there's nothing really is going to be happening, I think, at the moment. Maybe a little bit of pressure down on this right tier 1, but maybe a grouping around Pyro, if teams can back and get around it. Maybe a House rotation. House did opt for no TP, going Bracer. Bit of a callback, actually.
Yeah, the House Bracer.
Yeah, the old Bracer. House was a fiend for it and got that Bracer pickup on every god in this game. So a little bit of a callback. I don't know if I like this Bracer particularly. Don't know what he's using it for, but always good.
It does bring a good bit of team fight potential to his team, so I don't hate it. I think maybe Weave picking it up could have been a better option.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to.
Weave's going to get.
I think I would have liked to have seen him got beads instead for when he dives that backline if he's getting Ganesh messed with, to be able to get his ult off or to be able to get kills without being silenced and knocked around, which he is able to be now. There's a little bit of engagement going on in mid. Carter gets gone on.
Oh,
Oh my
jeez.
goodness, what was that?
Was that a
still a
Sikkim?
Sikkim that I didn't see? Yeah, he just deleted.
Yeah, the crush had already come out, so I think that was the Sikkim just kind of answers Carter. He shuts that ultimate down. You know what? It can't go for 6 seconds if you just kill him.
Yeah.
Good play from Married Men just to find that pick. And it looks like they might want the Pyromancer off the back end of that.
Yeah, gonna pull it up. Don't really have a lot of burn for it at the moment, especially without half guy on it. But the secure with the Scylla, I think they should be able to pick this up pretty handily. Mel's on the other side of the map, pressuring PH. Married Men do get it, as the fight afterwards though, looking a little rough.
Well, Melbs manages to find PH in that duo lane, and House uses the Somersault Cloud to get into the back line, but Married Men are doing the correct thing. They're just taking the win. Oh no, they didn't get the bomb. They got the Pyromancer, didn't manage to pick up the bomb, but they have retreated and got out of there. They did lose their ADC during that, and it looks like Gold Fury is started straight away by BGF. No Scylla Rock to contest this.
Yeah, no, this one you would think would be pretty safely falling into the hands of BGF. Yeah, really uncontested. Good feelers, maybe being able to pick up Dookie. I don't know why Dookie was the one zoning the tier, but they get it anyway, no one dies. Worked out.
Yeah, you don't know why Dookie was doing it, bro. Look at the results. He gets them.
Yeah. Really showing that what I'm not up with like crypto talk. The stocks?
Showing the
up on
stocks are
BGF?
rising for BGF.
Yeah, that's the word.
That wasn't Oni Fury as well, so we've got Oni Fury, Oni Minions, pardon, pushing down both solo and duo. The mid one's already been cleared. But you'd have to think there's just a bit of a reset here. Not a lot to do. House electing to do his blue buff in front of Moss, just to really show off how good he's feeling right now. That's just a bit of a flex.
Yeah. Doing himself a little bit nice. 2 level lead. Pressure going on the half, forcing the ult. I'd love to see that. If you can force out camera ult without using it aggressively, it kind of makes his dive a lot less potent.
Yeah, they've kind of just been forcing this camera roll down on cooldown. It feels as blinking from Melbs as Angel goes the other way. Good double Sikkim though to stop it. Dookie is here. One more auto attack. He does get it. He finds the kill, but half is now blinked in. He doesn't have that bat out of hell. Doesn't look like he's going to need it. And never mind that, he does need it. He goes down. PH finds the kill on the back end as well. It's a 2-for-2 trade so far, but House is here and Moss, however, is not. PH looks to get the roll off, but he's going straight towards Adler's. House dives him, but a good double fearless once again, but unfortunately Invictus misses the dash, and this might just be the end of the fight.
Yeah, as the Riptide just gets them all out cleanly, and a bit of a 2-for-2 trade there. Kind of even on that pickings. Let's get maybe a little bit of shutdown on Melbs. I don't know what kind of... Oh, the beads. Adlars is doing work on this tier this game.
Yeah, that's a good just blink 180 fearless. Gets the beads right as the beacon is spawning. It's a good play from Adlers. Get that relic off. We know that Carter doesn't quite have his ultimate back. This could be a good chance for Married Men to take this beacon.
Yeah, the slash line doesn't show it, but Adlers is putting in work.
Yeah, as is the way of solo laners sometimes, I think, as BGF are the ones getting in there. Adlers goes to the back line and a good Dharmic Pillar gets 3 people. Unfortunately, though, as we're praising him, Adlers does miss the fearless and catches himself in a bit of an awkward position. One hit should do it. Melbs gets it off the leap, and the BGF have managed to capture the beacon themselves, and Married Men run away with their tails between their legs here, as never mind. House decides to keep the fight going. Caught lazy backing Invictus in a bit of trouble. Angel already gone. Shell comes out just for himself, but I think he did get the regurgitate, so not too horrible. But
Yeah.
I think BGF really just turned that game around there. Look at
Great
those
fight for
stonks
BGF.
just change back in their favor. Crypto's on
Yeah.
the rise, baby.
Oh yeah, a lot got from that. Going to that FG too, trying to keep this snowball going in that fight, and I like it. There's 3 down, not to be able to get to this. It's half health already. Half guy's a little bit about half health as well. He can't really get into this. Dookie, please hit the fire giant. You're not zoning.
House doing a good job. I hope that they've recognized Looks like they have. They've recognized the fact that Rama has gone to the air. Carter barely manages to get away. House just solos half in the back line. No biggie. BGF managed to get that fire giant. It's time for a little bit of a reset.
Yeah, very good showing from BGF around this thing. Only thing I would criticize, obviously, Dookie, please hit the objectives. But
Dookie's,
other than that, it was great.
Yeah, he's enjoying fighting with the enemies. I'm not too sure if the damage quite shows it.
Oh,
A little
please
bit of a
don't be
nicer
rage
build.
again.
Yeah,
Please
I was
don't be
about to
rage.
say. Bit of
It
a
started
nicer
so
build, and
well.
I saw that.
I hope to God that's a Deathbringer. Just get Deathbringer.
Oh, my word.
great.
Blinking from Melbs, and Angel is already toast. Like 3 health left on him. We've manages to get that kill before Duke can come in and steal it for himself. And he's hitting these autos. PH is gone there if it's not for the shell from Invictus. Good play from the Elephant. Keeps the ADC alive as he was getting a little bit handsy there with the auto attacks.
Yeah. Don't know what the situation with the dash on Scylla was at the time, whether it was on cooldown or not, but I would like to potentially see, because even if he ults, Bakasura has a really good time of just keeping up with the ult, even though you do get the movement speed. I wouldn't mind seeing him cancel the ult once he gets out of that cripple and going down the dash at like over a wall, potentially. But yeah, it's kind of just, Bakasura is kind of running his back line. Very good build.
Hear me out here, hear me out. Maybe using the ultimate just to get a bit of movement speed to get out of combat and then blinks away. Could be the play Angel was looking for. Elves is hunting Adler's here as he's been found by the rest of the team. Good stun from House. Adler's already half health as the crush comes in, can't find any value. But it looks like BGF have recognized the fact that there's a couple of boys here. Let's dip.
And we do see a Rage getting picked up by Dookie. Still not a fan, but it's working, I guess.
We'll admit, much better game for the Rage for Dookie. Last time he picked it up at 0-3-1. This time he's 3-3-7. A little bit nicer of a slash line to be seeing that Rage picked up. Top of the damage charts too. I did say before, I don't know if it's bringing him much joy. Turns out it is. He's Unsen right now, it seems.
Yeah, it's all of those zoning autos he's getting on these people trying to get into the objectives.
Yeah, maybe if there was an objective damage stat that we could see how much he's done to the objective as opposed to zoning orders. The Dharmic Pillar comes out pretty early. Looks like it sent BGF back, but there's another wave coming. They could look for another push here as Carter's the one who's elected to go and split push
Good
middle.
poke. Oh, unlucky blink fearless by Adlars. As I would have liked to have seen them. They are doing a soft defense, but I don't know if the Ganesh ult was necessary. I would like to have just try a soft defense here and maybe looking for a more intense defense in the mid or left tower. They do often go for them.
Yeah, it did feel like it was a little bit early, but that Dharmic Pillar is on a pretty decent cooldown. There's a lot of ultimates used here. His Shell ult comes out. Somersault Cloud from the Wukong. Bat out of Helen in the back line.
Oh my.
While the Rama artillery is coming, but Atlas gets the Lawbringer kill. 14 more and he gets himself an achievement as looks like a lot of damage coming out. So many red bars coming out of Married Men.
But with the sustain on the Emoja, this is just still, this tier 2 is still gonna fall. As a very nearly good play by the Married Men and good chance to fight back on BGF2 there, but it falls in the way of BGF for that fight.
Yeah, maybe some split targets there. There were way too many low health bars from Married Men. I think maybe BGF could have taken that tower and a little bit more. They will get the Pyromancer. Weave is the one who's picked up the bomb. But I think they're really showing off what this draft can do with this Umoja healing and the Fire Giant healing. It's making it so hard. These guys have stayed out for a long time now. There's a lot of gold in hand.
There is a lot of gold on hand. This would be humongous backs for everybody. We've actually opted to skip whatever he was building into that Spirit Robe to pick up the Relic Dagger early. I guess opting for a quicker cooldown for his Omi. I don't know if the Witchblade is necessary. I wouldn't even mind seeing the other one that gives you protections and movement speed, I think, on Relic usage.
Is that the upgraded
Relic.
Yeah, that's the Relic Dagger. That's what Weave has.
Yeah,
oh, sorry, you're talking about Moss build.
Nah, Weave.
Yeah, that's Relic Dagger.
Now he's skipped Spirit Robe, yeah, and then the upgrade, the one that's not Witchblade gives you protections and movement speed when you use relics.
Oh, that's right. Witchblade's a a glyph now. Never mind. I was
Yeah,
like, yeah, he went Relic Dragon. Yeah, he didn't go Witchblade. Yeah. No, no, I get what you're saying. Yep, I'm on the page here.
I
I
don't know
wouldn't
the
mind seeing
actual
that either, to be
names of
honest.
those relic upgrades. To be honest, does anybody?
What are we
Uh,
thinking that this cloak would have been? Do you think the Spirit
um, um,
Robe?
yeah, I think if it was earlier, I would have expected a prophetic, but at the moment, that late, I think it has to be Spirit Robe, which I don't mind. Actually, Spirit Robe's good here.
Well, I do believe the Spirit Robe procs simply off Ganesh silencing him, so if any attempt is made on his life, that Spirit Robe goes off. He should be relatively tanky as the Somersault Cloud forced out of House, and speaking of, House himself has a Spirit Robe, and it looks like it probably helped to keep him alive there.
Yeah. As House opting for, actually, he could be doing a little bit of damage. I haven't really seen or tested much of Arts Druid. I don't know how much damage it really does. With
Oh,
those
I think that
basics.
one auto hits hard. Yeah, we're,
Yeah,
we're looking at like 500 damage almost on an auto attack.
that should be a thing.
Yeah, it's a pretty busted item. There's some pretty big numbers that come out of that. If you're taking a lot of damage in a fight consistently, you can return quite a lot of it.
A little bit of a fire giant grouping. Uh, both teams probably not opting to really pressure this, trying to just see what happens, looking for picks, seeing if anyone's getting out
Oh,
of
good
position.
double root.
P hates standing up a little bit too far. Poke.
Something I've just noticed that we like have skimmed over so far. The Titans are out and about. They're taking a stroll down duo lane right now, and
Ah,
they're
true.
about to spot each other and have a bit of combat here.
Wouldn't want to see someone cheekily go down that lane for a little bit. Maybe, well, it's a little bit rough for House. No TP. Actually, no TP from either solo lane.
Yeah, a couple of ultimates forced here. Rum into the sky, Angel as well, almost used, and a lot of split damage, but Angel will fall to House, and I mean, this is that lack of Aegis or Shell coming out that we're starting to see here. Just takes so much damage. Blink completely useless in that team fight, and it could just be a rundown mid call here. But I wouldn't mind seeing them go for either the Fire Giant or to put a bit of pressure onto these Titans.
The Chaos Titan seems to be owning the Order Titan, it seems.
Yeah, is this
Don't
just
know.
minion dip? What is
I
this?
don't know, to be honest. Is the Chaos Titan just better?
Oh no, no, there's a wave and a half there. It's definitely a wave issue. Is Fire Giant at half health. There's no real secure from Married Man, and
No Melbs around either, as he's gone to take that Titan off the map. Could be a good engage here for Married Man if they can find it before Melbs gets there.
it is still a 4v4 though, so at the end of the day, it's basically an even engage, even if they decide to take it. Adler's is taking up the tank on the fight. No, he's not. I swear he was. Oh, maybe he was dewarding. I'm not sure. It looked like he was hitting Fire Giant there, but Fire Giant was just kind of letting it happen as BGF. Grab a Pyromancer after a couple of shenanigans. Oh dear,
Maybe
Atlas
Adler's
is being
down
chased.
here.
Lawbringer comes out, but it's straight onto Melbs who's there waiting with the Regurgitate. The ultimate comes out of his shell. I'd love to know the name of that, if anyone could
I
tell
think
me.
if Adlar's ults over to the red buff, I think he lives. I think ulting over to mid lane, maybe not knowing that Melvin's there, kind of killed him there.
Great End. Right, that name is metal as hell.
What was that?
Great End. That's the name
What?
of his shell ult. The Great End.
Holy.
That is hardcore, Rose.
Yeah.
Fire Giant picked up, trying his best just to avoid House. Doesn't even want to look at the guy. Only has eyes on the Fire Giant, maybe on the backline here. Doesn't have the blink. Does have the leap and the ultimate though, so could look at getting into the backline as he gets going on, loses beads. Leap and ultimate all very quickly, and I don't think he's got enough room to get away here, but he decides to go to the team. Learns off the mistake from Adler's and he will survive. Nothing really lost. Oh, unless Angel loses his life here too. Our monster used just to try and juke will go down to Melbs. As Melbs has picked up that hasten, so it's going to be really hard to get away from him.
Yeah, there's still a blink not paying
Oh, the Blink Fearless from Adler's catches Melbs. He tanks the Phoenix. One extra shot isn't enough to kill him, but it's enough to send him back to base. And BGF boys are just kind of pushing down this Phoenix. Ultimate used out of Adler's. The Lawbringer does a lot of damage. Grabs Weave, send him into Phoenix, and somehow Married Men have turned this around.
Yeah. Bit of monkeying around a little bit there. Maybe could have just backed after the Angel pick. a reset for fire, but they decide to stay around. House a little bit overstaying as well. Has the bird to get away though.
I don't mind that from House, actually. He has just kind of baited that blink out of half. It's going to make this fire giant a lot easier. Half's just looking at avoiding the front line. I'm assuming he wants to blink to the back line, do some shenanigans, and then take to the sky. So him losing that blink for another 2 minutes is really big for BGF on trying to pull this fire giant.
Yeah, as we're probably just going to see another grouping around Fire Giant. Probably back to exactly what we were where we were the last time they were here. With no one falling back on it, this could just keep happening where both teams fight happens, get kills, no one goes to Fire Giant, reset, do it again until there's a wipe, and then you end the game. No one gets Fire Giant. This is the first. Has someone got Fire Giant before? Am I tripping? Yes,
Yes, I do
BGF got
believe
it once.
BGF got one, yeah.
But yeah, second Fire Giant being EFG.
I would love to see, and actually, as I say it, Angel has just done it. I'd love to see Angel and Invictus just go and farm up a wave or two and hit 20. Like, Angel has just done it, Invictus is still 19. They're so close to 20, especially for Scylla. Because because of that Scylla passive, whenever you max out an ability, you gain power, and you also gain a bit of a bonus to that ability. So getting an extra point into that other monster, pretty big.
Yeah, it is quite large. As I don't know how far off he is from that starter upgrade, but you would be wanting to farm for that, for hopefully before this next Fire Giant fight really takes place. Golden Hand, 1000. Only needs 500 gold. I would be letting Scylla try and solo farm as much as he can. Try and get that way, but they do look like they're pulling up the Fire Giant PGF. Just yet. He is now to stay on the Fire Giant fight.
And Duke, he's finally decided to hit a fire giant, but married men are all in the area, and BGF instantly drop it. I mean, as long as that Scylla is around, it's going to be really hard to pull this fire giant.
Yeah.
And you know what? I wouldn't have minded if they pulled this Pyromancer and instead of zoning, just fell back a little bit. Try and bait Angel into coming in and using Armor Monster to steal the Pyro. I think that could have been really heads up from BGF, but unfortunately their tanks do too good of a job. And keeps the Scylla out.
Do see the Scylla back in there, maybe looking to pick it up again, trying to poke it out again. As this dance has felt like it's gone on forever. Everything is back up. As it is pulled, getting to about 3/4 now. And nothing really happens from it again.
Yeah.
Both teams is playing very patiently, trying to look for any chance to get a fight or a pick before this FG.
I wouldn't mind just seeing Melbs just kind of split off and try and just take a middle Phoenix before the enemy team realize. I hate the fact that there's 3 bombs on BGF and 2 of them are on Weave. It would have been nice, and one of them's on Dookie. I'd love to see House and Melbs have a bomb each, as Melbs has found PH, the regurgitate more than enough, and half finishes the bat out of hell in the worst place possible. The middle of the enemy team does fall down. Adler's just once again another beautiful blink fearless. Doesn't find too much off it, but Angel does pick up a kill onto Melbs, but BGF are trying to storm the throne room here. Monster gets no joy. Angel
that's game.
loses his life. That's going to be game. I don't see Moss being able to defend this at all. The River's Rebuke comes out. House doing a fairly good job of just tanking this Titan. It's not doing any damage to it. This will be game 2 to BGF, and we're looking at a 3-game set here.
Yeah, very good game from BGF. Melb's really running that game, being able to find that Scylla, no Aegis on it, no sprint around, no shells, no horrifics. Being able to really pressure that Scylla and finding his lead.
Yeah, that all just kind of came out of nowhere, didn't it? We were just sitting there between all of these fire giant dances, and just suddenly we were bang in the throne room. Titans gone.
Yeah, as very clean victory from BGF, and it looks like we're going to a game 3.
Yeah.
I did like the comp from both sides. Oh, I did miss the hastened sprint from Weave, which I did like. Being able to
I thought it
run
was a
down.
sprint. I didn't see it when it was actually available. I only saw it when it was used. I wasn't sure what had used that. A bit awkward,
As
but
hopefully we might be able to get into a little bit of a break here. as we will be back for a game 3. Stay tuned. And we are back for the third game of this BGF and Married Men set. After a very good showing from BGF in game two, bringing it down to a 1-1. Still joined by Lath.
Oh, hey, man. Yeah,
And
put the knife away, no cutting off this time. As I think we're pretty set just to get straight into picks and bans for game number
yeah, let's
three.
get
A
straight
real
into
nail
it.
biter here.
And don't really know what I'm expecting here. I don't know if anything really has to be taken away. I think the Bakasura did work, but I don't know if it's bannable, seeing as it can be counted pretty easily.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the Bakasura doing it or if it was just Melb's diff. I'm not too sure. But still really good showing from him. Terra first ban, Marticarus from the other side. I think we're pretty accustomed to seeing this Marty ban pretty much from the second team. I do think BGF have banned it all three games now, though. I think they banned it both times from first pick as well.
Yeah. Uh, this looking like the exact same as we've seen all game. Achilles coming out actually. Maybe BGF looking to pick up the Yorm. I would be banning a Yorm here in Married Men. Uh, that because you Achilles wasn't played last game. You expect a reason for why this Achilles ban is coming through at all.
Well, I
You
mean, if
see
they,
Raven.
I got to admit, I completely agree. I have to think BGF are looking for the Yorm here if they're going to be randomly just banning the Achilles here, especially when it wasn't played or banned last game. Maybe it's a bait to try and get them to ban the Yorm, but that way it leaves like say like the Raven open, maybe like the Raven and the Kali. They could have taken both picks and the Raven a solo, as Raven and Kali both banned now. Married Men, a few options on the table. Your
For
Moja
Umoja.
looks to be the
Tremble
Would've-
pick.
beneath
I
the
would have liked to have even
waves.
seen a Yorm going through, seeing as BGF probably banned the one counter for the Yorm. Like picking up the Yorm when BGF just banned its counter, being second pick. Wouldn't mind to see it, but they opted for Umoja, who did Weave did work on it or last game, taking it away from Weave, getting it on Invictus.
I will
As
Looks
win peace
Hachiman
by
gets picked up.
force.
Yeah, Dookie playing Hachiman the entire set here. He should be pretty locked in on that pick right now, though. It is a good pick, and there's the big snake himself. It is a Yorm pick. Yeah, I think pretty smart from BGF to ban the Achilles. Pretty not so smart from Married Men to not ban the Yorm in turn.
I would like to see a Sunder onto the Yorm without the Achilles, like being able to kill it before it goes up. Because if you can kill the Yorm before it goes up, it's really not a god. Because having that safe, like disruptive ult is kind of what makes it good right now. As Thor and maybe Rama getting picked up here as well. Yes, it does get locked in. Melb's taking the Thor away from Melb's, I would think, and the Rama just taking, as we see in a lot of games at the moment, everyone just picking up Ramahachi.
Well, this is the third game that Merriman will be playing that Rama. I do like to see Thor put half on the
I
Thor.
will
We'll give him
leave
another Sky
standing
God.
no
He
barrier
is
to our
pretty well known
success.
for this Thor pick, as obviously the emoji taken away by Married Men. BGF decided to take a page out of the Married Men book, take the Ganesh for themselves. I do like this pickup, especially into Thor. Ganesh good at just getting out of your Mojo ult, just dash straight through that wall. Really stops, Thor. All Thor wants to do is just dive the backline here. The second he goes near the backline, he gets silenced. He's in a world of hurt.
Yeah. The Ganesh kind of plays well into both dive and backline comps because you still have the ult if you do have a dive comp that can really set it up for the dive, and does do exceptionally well in defending backline comps as well. So kind of just a good pick in general.
Is there some tech we don't know about here? BGF played Wukong last game and then elect to ban it this game. I'm
I
not.
guess just don't get Adler's not on a safe pick, but I think I would have been banning the tier, which they
Yeah.
might be banning it as well. But I haven't seen Adler's play the Wukong before, so a bit of an awkward ban, and the Giannis again.
Well, I think it was Married Men that banned the Giannis the last two games. So BGF electing to ban it
Oh,
themselves
true.
this game. I don't hate it. If it was Rex actually playing mid this game and not an Angel sub, I really would have liked this ban. I think it's kind of okay here. The Bakasura, we did kind of skim over that, has been banned away Melbs has to lean into a different pick here. I'm not too sure what he could pull out.
It's a
Melbs is
Tiamat
quite known
gets
for his
harvested.
nemesis, Al Kong maybe?
I should have created a world that
Are
you
they
do
going
not
for
exist
Tiamat? Looking
in.
like they're going for that dive comp. That where they did have the dive comp game 1, and Married Men might fall back onto what worked for them against the dive comp game 1. As you see, the
Yeah.
Anubis Hubbard looking like they are gonna do it again.
Yeah, I love this team. I've been saying all game that
Yep.
this Tiamat needs to be picked up with Arnher
Warriors, to
locked in
battle!
here. It will be the double hunter once again for mid and the ADC, but it does mean that this Thor must be going to Adler's in the solo lane with Half once again taking the Jackal into the jungle. Oh, Circuit.
Wait, these were swapped, wasn't it? Married Men did no. Yeah, BGF did dive comp. Married Men did the backline. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, yep. Yeah,
And the
BGF did the dive
Circuit
comp.
coming in. I do
This
like
is
the
one
Circuit.
tale
Does have
you
a very
don't
good
want to
time
chase, darling.
picking a Yamoja and very good into Anubis as well, getting on him while he's ulting and stopping the lifesteal as well. I do like the Circuit pick here.
Yeah, the Circuit can also taunt Anubis straight out of the Plague of Locust when he does try to use that first ability. Pretty decent time into both of the hunters as well. So it's an interesting pick. I am excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, I would like to see a bit of a more of a hybrid build on that Circuit and acting more like facilitator instead of trying to like just hard outright kill the backliners. I feel like they have the dive comp that his team should be around him. He doesn't really need to be full damage in this game.
Well, legs, no need to wait and see about what Melbs is going to do, as it is time to get straight into game number 3 of this 3-game set between Merrymen and Biogravity Finance.
Yeah, we're starting it off. Pretty standard. No blinks from the mid laners, please. Carter, yes, lovely. No blinks coming out from the mid laners this game, as we see Bracer, Shell. Shell, obviously, just you got to really get that for your Moja. Yeah, pretty stock standard start from both teams and build wise.
Oh, it's so minuscule, but I hate looking at House's build. I hate the fact that he buys a tier 1 item and then buys his starter item, dude. It drives me mental.
I was playing on a couple little teams in like off-season stuff with House too. He does do it on purpose.
Oh, I can't stand it.
I also cannot stand it. I hate it.
I guess I'm not too sure about this Thor. I just don't know how big a fan I am of Thor solo right now. I know talking to a couple of people who are slightly smarter than me, they have been saying that the reason people are playing Thor is because of the matchup. Oh no, Invictus trolls BH on the clear. Luckily doesn't lose too much health for it as Invictus takes the rest. That's funny. But yeah, a lot of people tell me that it's mostly for the matchup. You know, when you play Thor in a tier, the second it looks like the tier's going for that Fearless, you just do a little bit of a spin with that Berserker's Barrage, and they go straight through you. So, I mean, I don't hate it into the Yorm because of that one reason. You know, Yorm's only CC really is a knock-up, and Adler's can completely immune that with his third ability.
Yeah. They do get pressure, but I don't know if I'm a huge fan of the triple camp with Yamoja. She does do really well at it, but with something like on her, where Yamoja kind of has to carry that triple camp, you're kind of electing to go into wave with no or little Omi. But they do win it anyway, and then afterwards, obviously it doesn't really matter at this point. But
Oh, I just thought that was so funny. How the minions got blocked and PH is just kind of stuck in there. Yeah, that's bizarre. Oh wow, hang on a second. Melb's down to like 100 health here. Not too sure where that aggression came from, but managed to get away safely.
probably just getting hit by a... He does have no beads as well, so I'm guessing he just got hit by a wrap and took a lot of damage from it. As Carter did just jump on mid lane, mid camps. Probably gonna get poked out a little bit here. He's about to fall in his health. He's going back to wave.
Yeah, not the absolute worst. Is just a little bit of poke in the early. You know, Ram kind of does that. He's very good hunter-wise with this clear. That first ability, the ability just to go through minions and still hit people. Very good as PH just launches Dookie away just for the fun of it.
Yeah, you kind of got to do it now. Unho Impale. Most of the time I see myself saving it, just to see if someone tries to step up in the wave and get both. A little bit of double action. there's
is.
a missed dash there from Weave. Looking to put some pressure on the PH.
I don't know about you, Legs, but this is. Oh, hold that thought for a second. Beads instantly forced out onto Carter, but he comes straight back in, goes for the dive. Angel still pushed really far up. Carter, half health, minuscule
Half
mana.
guy,
And,
no mana.
yeah, Melb's looking for a bit more.
Ooh,
Can't
just
get the
missed the
taunt. And back to my previous point, I don't know about you, but this has been a very exciting duo lane to watch.
Yeah.
Oh,
as
speaking
they're
of-
jumping in, no health. Both hunters no health. Stuff's
Yeah,
gone down in the duo lane.
I swear all of these plays, PH and Dookie, just both of them are refusing to look down at their health bars before they do anything. It's a wild time.
As an invade, little invade coming out from the house. Does get level 5 of the littles. Pretty safe at doing this. Does get the
Oh,
hammer
my
off,
word.
though.
Not only is he incredibly handsome, he's also very intelligent, good at smite game. Adler's hits the stun as the consuming bellow gets started by House, and then just throws the hammer in there just to secure his own blue buff. What a play.
Both teams, like, in terms of game 1, where they pretty much had, like, both teams had kind of same kind of style that they were going for. I do like the BGF dive comp much better this game. It doesn't really get counted out by the Married Men draft this game. I think I based all of that around the Tiamat and Circuit picks. The Circuit pick especially, I think does really well into this comp.
Yeah,
I will find a bit more success from this dive comp this game around, I think.
yeah, I do like the Saket a lot here. Especially into the Anubis. A lot of survivability, the ability just to get away. I think he was playing the Thor last game into the Anubis, and it was just so often that he just got caught out. Couldn't get away as Dookie manages to get a little 180 dash. I think this is here to bring some pressure. Rivers of Butte
does
comes
hit the
out.
ult.
Dookie has to use the cavalry to get away, but looks like that's the end of the aggression. Hang on a second. Something in the air.
Nope, you're seeing things.
No, I'm seeing the. I swear I saw like a big line just go straight up from like the mid lane there. Either way, Dookie has to use the ultimate to get away. And losing Invictus Rivers Rebuke kind of hurts a little bit. As Melbs is here. Hopefully he just lets Invictus back as oh no, he goes in a little bit too soon.
Great pillar.
Arnhurt gets caught out. PH has to use the beads. But it looks like that will be the end of the aggression. A lot of relics, a lot of ults used in this little scuffle over in the duo lane, but nothing really gained.
Very good pillar from PH there. Actually managed to block out both taunts from Melbs, forcing him to jump in and force the ult, which kind of just helped him live. If he got hit by that taunt and the ult there, I think he died.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Melbs just stay out of Invictus view for a second longer there. Invictus was 100% committed to the back as Angel's down to 150 health here. Carter winning this little poke trade.
A bit of a scuffle going around mid lane. There's 3v2 here. Look, maybe looking for half guy.
Yeah, I think Invictus needs to be the target here. Half blinks back past him and Dark Pillars comes out as Invictus finally the target and
Oh, there it is.
just dies instantly.
Does.
You know, we had to wait a second, but
Not so
maybe not that
instantly,
instant.
nearly instantly.
Was that his first blood? Oh,
Was
how
close.
is that first blood?
That was first blood. 6-minute first blood. Big difference from what we saw from the last 2 games.
Yeah, it was also a huge scuffle like for this entire game. I've just realized Tiamat kind of good into this new like 3 mid camps, like the 3 halfy mid camps.
Yeah, it
You know,
does
you-
have, out of the majors, it does have a better time than most at securing those mid camps.
Yeah, you get that little execute chomp for minion camps. So I haven't even thought about that. Tiamat kind of good right now.
Yeah, and as the early game, as is with Tia, is a little bit rough than most, but like, still, once he gets that late game, he will just be jumping in and doing a whole lot of damage.
You know, that execute chomp definitely would help with that early game, especially with mid camps being so contested. How often that they're up. Good pillar. Dookie manages just to weave his way around it. Nothing to be found here, and just a continuous scuffle in this duo lane. Every time we look back, there's another fight.
Yeah, these two will not shy away from a fight, either of them. I think I'm surprised there hasn't been more bloodshed. Probably on the back of Hachiman being Hachiman.
Yeah,
Being able to get out of everything.
Melb's on a ward there. PH spots it, tries not to let them key into the fact that he has spotted it. Just clearing this wave. He is half health. I'd like to see. He does bring out the back here. Dookie's probably going to get a bit of Bastion damage here. But I'm surprised to see Dookie getting a bit of an upper hand over the Zana as the ultimates come out in solo side. House in a bit of danger, and the Thor ult is just way too short.
Was waiting for House to ult. He took a very long time to ult there, and Adlar's a bit of a whiff on the Thor ult.
Well,
so both teams a little bit of misplay. Both get out unscared.
House was underground at the time. Maybe Adlers was thinking that House was going to go under and then instantly double back to try and get back
True.
to the safety.
We can see him, can't we?
Yeah, we can see him, but they, however, cannot. So I've got to assume that Adler's tried to hit him with the high IQ, hit him where he thinks he's going to be juking to kind of play. So unfortunately, House just decides to send further down lane and then start that ult.
That one was a little bit scary from House. He is doing a good job in this whole set, really, at holding his escape ults with the Wukong and the Yorms. But that one was a little scary, close.
I think it's a bit odd that Adlers has elected to go into solely to Thor, especially knowing that House is most likely going to be building that Tainted Steel again. Just kind of already hamstringing him purely on what his lane opponent is most likely coming to lane to start with. Good wall though. Catches him the second he goes underground.
The 1k lead is already amassed just from... Funny, from last game, at this point we were at about like 4 to 8 kills for both sets, and so pretty much dead even, but 1 kill this game, and BGF have amassed a 1k lead already. Opting to not fight as much as they were the last games and just taking these neutral farm, getting the lead up massively.
Yeah, I think that's really the difference this game, isn't it? Like, they've elected just to farm, and it's paying off them as well. They're not really getting any sort of value in this solo lane, but they are finding it across the map a bit more. Up is just sitting in solo here.
Yeah, I don't know what the option there was. Decided he wanted to hit the tower a little bit. Does have a lot of camps up as well.
Look, I don't hate the call. He has forced the World Serpent out of House. Does have the Death Gaze up. If House walks up at all, they can just look to dump ult into him. See if they can pick up a kill. Melb's in the area. I think he's walked over a ward. He definitely has. They're trying to key on that they don't know he's there, but this is a level 8 Socat. This might not be the smartest play.
And I think both people will just walk out here. No one really going in. Mel secures the cooldown buff. Oh, he doesn't.
Oh no.
Grasping hand, secure it.
Yeah, the grasping hand's more than enough. There's half will take his little victory and back. Don't know if House is going to let him though.
It would be scary trying not to let him though. He does have ult up. Might be half just baiting to try and get a kill on this Yorm.
I think if he can hit a hands wrap as quick as he can, never mind. The ultimate has been spotted out of Adler's. House goes straight into that World Serpent and gets himself to a bit of safety.
There's not a lot I think is going to be happening. I think if anything's going to be forced, I think it kind of has to be out of Married Men at the moment. Oh, actually, they scale pretty well into the late game. I don't know if any team really looking to fight here.
Oh, missed impale.
As saying that though, oh, that's unfortunate by Invictus. Dookie kind of just ulting through the wall there.
Yeah, that River's Rebuke, there is that bit of an awkward delay while it's coming out of the ground that people can still get through it, and Dookie too quick to get onto the horse without mounted archery to just dash straight out of the walls, and bit of a wasted gank attempt. His card is just in mid, he's just pushing this lane, he's doing kind of what Angel did in the first game. Not rotating and just pushing waves on the tower, getting a bit of farm.
As we do see the beacon spawning in about 20 seconds, we'll like to see who, or really which solo lane decides to rotate for this, as they're nearly getting a picker here on Invictus.
Yeah, that was a last breath coming out, and looks like Dharmic Pill is going to get the final hit. Gives it over to Carter and dashes straight on Angel and gets beads. That is huge plays out of Weave right there, just to make sure that they can get this beacon. And they decide not to go straight on it.
Yeah, and if I was Married Men here, I'd just be saying we give this up. We have no beads on the Rama. Support's dead. I think we just give up this first one. That you don't need to commit to any of these. Even giving up all three, if you're just getting farm across the map, is never bad.
I'm starting to wonder if Invictus just got baited into this Umoja pick a little bit. I wonder if maybe that Achilles ban really threw them, and they went, "Oh no, what's been left on the table?" And they gone, "Oh, Umoja's up. They played it the last 2 games, and Invictus elected to take it. He's not looked as comfortable on it as Weave has, but Weave looking just as comfortable on the Ganesh as Invictus was. So I think that maybe a bit of win in the picks and bans here for By Gravity.
Yeah, really. I don't know if they forgot about the Yorm or if they just elected that they would be able to deal with it even without it. I would have liked to have seen Invictus get a Sunder to kind of get that Yorm counter again, because if he is able to just disrupt and dish out a lot of damage and get out for free and not really get pressured, it's where Yorm will really find his presence. As that both tier 1 towers and left and mid nearly down. We have a bit of a going in on Thor in solo lane. I think he did his ult out though.
Yeah,
Still in a bad position though. He still is behind the mid tier 1.
I'm not too sure what Atlas is doing, but Weave is a little bit more focused on the Gold Fury. I think maybe this is the play. Atlas is trying to get the attention in solo so that the Gold Fury can be started. Unfortunately, Atlas has brought them all over to Gold Fury.
This is very scary for the Married Men. Full of health, they do get it. But Riptide just gets them out. Is a good pull up. Is a good pull.
There was a dash in there. It looked like it was Melbs. He's grabbed onto Adler's. No Amber Dawn to get him out. The hammer just enough gets over the wall, but House is here with the World Serpent. He could find the last hit. He does. Beautiful pick up here.
That last one.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about going into the middle of them with no mana.
Well, as Carter may have overstayed his welcome a little bit. No mana, but does get him out. Very good follow-up fight from BGF. Still maintaining that like 1k lead as Dookie's is kind of pushing down left side. Don't know if he won't be able to get tier 2 here, but they do get tier 1 in mid. And Angel's in a really rough position as a little bit of a scuffle going down in mid.
Yeah, this is good from Dookie. Doesn't even rotate to that fight. His team still handily win it. He managed to get not only the tier 1, but half the health off the tier 2. And then when 2 of the boys from Married Men come over to handle Dookie, they lose the mid tier 1 for it. And looks like the Pyromancer as well is really, really good map play coming in here from BGF.
They do secure the Pyromancer as well. After all, they will be looking to back now though, as Angel's looking to roll in, trying to look for something. But as long as they back, they probably have a lot of gold in hand at the moment. Oh yeah, grand on a couple of players there. A lot of gold to spend. Back up, reset. Probably just go back to farming. You don't really want to be pulling Fire Giant at the moment. No one's really in a position to be able to pull it. Just going back to farming. Oh, Thor did go up.
Yeah, Thor's in the air. Looks like that's enough to get the ultimate out of House. Nothing really to find there. Adler's likes to chase him, but no, I don't think he's going to get anything out of that. Jeez, that's a big deal. Oh, there's a green buff in there too. I'm like, what is with this wave, bro? They had Tiamat minions and a green buff inside of a wave there.
Nubis actually, I think half guy elected for Doom Orb first last game, but he's elected for Deso early and going the rush into the Rotatahudi and then looking to Obshard. Does anything else go off of that now? I think
Spirit of the Magus.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Which I wouldn't be surprised if Magus is what he's going for. I don't think Anubis finds great value out of the mob shard.
Is Magus still 10% or is it 20 now? Still 10, isn't it?
Is that lifesteal?
10.
Ooh.
I think it's 10.
I think it's 10.
I feel like I'd see it getting picked up more if it was 20.
Yeah, you'd have to think so. 20 is
there's
quite a lot
very
of
good slow. Rama's up in the air. A lot of people around him. He might fall here. There's a good Anubis ult coming out.
Oh, jeez, there's just a big scuffle here. There's a bit mix and match. A lot of different targets there. I think everyone just kind of focused more on keeping themselves alive than to actually team fight there, and everyone walks away. House elects to give up his beads on the back end of that fight, as beacons get pretty close. I think about a minute away from spawning.
Yeah, same with the gold here as well. That will be where we find this next fight. Only 3 kills this game, and still very close. Movement have been able to stop this 1k lead, bring it down to about 400. Pretty much on the dot. But yeah, this next Gold Fury fight and Beacon fight, I think, was where one team might be able to break away.
Yeah, I think this beacon fight will be a pretty deciding factor for the rest of this game here. If whichever team can take a good beacon and hopefully get the gold here off the back end of it, could really swing the favor their way. This is a very tight game. We're only looking at a 400 gold.
Tested.
I did say before that I think that the next beacon, along with the Gold Fury, whoever can take those is going to hugely swing this game. Angel doesn't have the
No, you
Astral
just leave there.
Barrage,
Yep.
I believe the name is, to fall back on. So I had to think that this Gold Fury will just be given up completely.
And after this gold, it might be close to a 2-3k lead in the favor of BGF after this. Oh, they did not kill that as fast as I thought they would, and PH is back and has taken out the house.
Beads used by both of the Melbs is not going to win that trade. PH comes in with a stunning play to pick up 2.
And they don't get gold through. I guess without Dookie around, with him falling, they just did not have the shred for that gold.
Yeah,
It's looking like it's golden main event, and it's going to be a tied game again. Yep, just about 400 gold.
I cannot believe what we've just witnessed. PH just comes in, completely turns that around, picks up 2 kills, helps his team secure the Gold Fury, and we're back to not only an even game, but Married Men being slightly ahead even.
Yeah. And we're probably going to be in a stalemate again for a little bit longer. Maybe contesting around this Pyromancer, but probably opting for farm.
Yeah, I think BGF just need to continue farming. They can't let themselves fall behind here. We can already see that Melbs is 2 levels behind half in the jungle. But I mean, at least Carter is 2 levels ahead in the mid laners. Never mind, Melbs picks up Adler's just out of nowhere, is straight after the Pyromancer.
Yeah. That easy Melb's probably going about a bit too deep. I probably hammered him, or I don't know if he walked it or not, but a bit too deep there.
Angel managed to get back up, pick the bomb.
Ooh, that's never a good sight.
It's good to see that the bomb got picked up, but I don't know about it going in the mid laner. And Angel elects to int for the bomb as well on the back end of it. It dashes right in front of 2 of the enemies, in towards a 3rd enemy. As River's Rebuke comes out from Invictus to attempt to save the mid laner. Angel does manage to get the kill.
That's worth. Be saying
It will
worth.
fall.
I don't know if Melbs really needed to be around there. I think that kill was secured either way. Just giving them the trade, really.
Yeah.
But back to what I was gonna say. Carries shouldn't be allowed to touch that thing. It should be ADC in mid lane should not be allowed to pick up the bomb. It cannot be trusted.
Yeah, I agree. They shouldn't ever be in a range to actually use the bomb as well. So
Your team especially can never give Flix the bomb.
oh no, dude, Flix is not allowed near that bomb, bro. Not a chance.
I'd let it spawn out. I'd let it despawn.
Yeah, Flix is a good Christian boy. He's not too sure how bombs work.
What is that? What is that thing? Is a
I
little bit of a
think that's
spectator
the-
glitch there. What is that?
I think that's a spectator glitch.
Doesn't even look like the tower.
Yeah, it looks like a bell that's been lit on fire.
Solar
It's like
lane
all
is-
molten.
Solana has spawned the volcano, apparently.
Yep, that's an interesting glitch. A classic high res. Luckily, both teams have just elected to do a bit of farming here. As maybe look for a little cheeky hit onto Weave. Melbs is in the area.
Probably is honestly probably is gonna end up being another farm till gold, or maybe be able to get a fire giant now that Dookie has crit up. They do probably. Oh, they don't really have a secure mage either. They're probably both a bit scuffed going for these fire giants. Either one picking them up.
Yeah. Rate the rage pickup once again from Dookie.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't mind it as much if he sold like DT at the end and gets DB next, or like sells Death Toll for Deathbringer. But Rage alone, you really just need one Spectral, because like if you get Deathbringer, the Spectral, it kind of negates Spectral a little bit, but like Rage is just a crit item. You kind of just get, it becomes like a negligent item as soon as someone gets Spectral, when you could just have like more Pen or Oboe.
Yeah, I think Rage being the only item is kind of awkward, as I've just noticed Angels electing to do the same thing. Maybe a Deathbringer after the Rage here. Dookie definitely not going for a Deathbringer, as Fire Giants started by BGF. Looks like they're kind of maybe looking for the fight instead. Beats forced out of house, but they're going in on Atlas, and Atlas is in a world of hurt here. He falls down, but Weave on the back end also getting very low. PH has noticed this, leaps into the back line, but Melbs has picked up half, and Carter is still diving with the team. PH manages to get Weave, but Angels have already used that Acid Barrage. Could be a good target here for the team, but it looks like it will be PH instead. Frenzy pop, but a good stun out of Carter, finds PH, he falls. Invictus gonna be the next one to go too. And then I have to think Angel... No, Angel first. Invictus manages to survive longer, but it is a deer side.
And
All the
100
carries
alive.
still up.
Yep, they should just be able to get this fire giant.
I have to think that Dookie's got the capability to tank this. Does, I think, have a little life steal.
Trouble. So they'll kill it before he gets an
Well, Weave will at least have the fire giant buff as well. I doubt they're going to hold it for House to come back, as fire giant secured. I would like to see them run straight to this beacon. You know, people coming out of base, beacon should be up in 10, maybe less seconds. Looks like they're going to go to Pyromancer instead. Beacon has spawned. They still do have time.
Yeah, BGF would have to back for this, and Weave looking like he's gonna run straight over, try and pick it up. Half guy is around. Don't think it will go uncontested. Is there to stop it. Then instantly leaving, giving the
Atlas is in the air.
There's
Yeah, lands on the house.
the ult up there.
Forces the World Serpent straight away, but BGF do manage to secure the beacon. House just going to try and get away, but has been called out by Atlas. This could be a really good pick. Beads forced. House does go down. Teammate into the back line though with Melbs. Melbs and Carter have just been diving each fight together, but Weave has gone down. Atlas hammers in. Not a lot here, but Dookie
dies as well. Angel with the triple kill.
Dookie just sends it into the back line onto Angel. Decides to join the rest of his team in the graveyard. Angel doing his best Yugimoto impression, sending boys to the Shadow Realm here.
As it looks like the team with the fire giant lost the fight, and they might be losing there.
Titans have been unleashed. Mid lane is the target.
Ooh, that might actually be a savior for Eric. That Titan may be able to put up enough defense to be able to get the team back so they don't get this Phoenix.
Yeah, Weave coming back now. It looks like that is the case. Team out pretty good at just clearing these waves. It looks like it's going to be a Gold Fury call instead. I wouldn't mind seeing them go for the Gold Fury and then come straight back to mid lane to push with their own Titan. I really don't want to see backs coming out, especially not when you've got Invictus on the Emoja. Deathgaze probably not great, but they are electing to back. I don't like this legs. I want to see them just push with that Titan while it's alive.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't really need that gold. It's helped. Was it Oni?
No, it was just a regular Gold Fury.
Regular Gold Fury, yeah. They probably could have backed and gone with the Titan. But it works out in the end. Don't really need to. Could just go back into a bit of a stalemate here. A little bit. Still like a 1k lead. This game just flips and turns, every single fight.
Yeah, there's no real loss for them, but there's also no gain, I guess, is really the issue. There's big grouping from BGF just in this left-hand jungle. Still have Fire Giant on Carter and Melbs, probably the two people who you don't want it to be on. But maybe a push. Looks like that they're just gonna fall back a little bit. Looks like we're probably gonna have a stalemate until the next Fire Giant. I don't see either team really being able to do much here.
There's a little bit of a riptide towards trying to catch Carter there. Yeah, a bit of nothing going on at the round at the moment, probably. I do, however, like the fact that Angel has done a normal Hunter build this game instead of the Transcendence Asai stuff he was doing the first game. Although he did seem to pop off on it on that build, first game.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Both.
Oh, ulting just off the back. That's tilting for Dookie.
Yeah, that's tilting, but at the same time, you've just taken that barrage away from Ram, which is a very key point to his safety. For the next,
Angel
like,
going into a bit more of mental damage there, I think.
yeah, I would like to see BGF just go on Angel here. You know that he doesn't have that Astral Barrage just to sit in the sky. You force the beads, Aegis out of Ram, he should die very quickly, so I'd like to see a bit of a power play around this.
Yeah, Pyro's about to spawn. Hopefully a fight brewing around this Pyromancer.
This is gonna burn.
I feel like this game's gonna be dead even at a deadlock for the entire game, and then it'll just be one wipe, and the game will be over. So that's what this game's leaning towards right now.
Dharmic Pillars comes out just to keep Married Men away from the Pyromancer. BGF will secure it. Fire Giant up in 30 seconds, I'm going to say that is. 30, yeah, it should be about 30 seconds, it will be up. Atlas is going to the sky nice and early. Looking for an Anvil of Dawn target, has found one. It is on a Melbs, catches the dash. Gets the beads out on the back end as well. Luckily still has the leap, but at the same time, House lost beads and ult at the back end of that. Melbs goes back in, gets beads straight away from maneuvers, and then dashes away. Good play, but Dookie decides to mount an archery into the back line. Hang on a second. Carter picks up a kill. Dookie does fall down though on the backside. There's a big grouping from Married Men here. Just perfect for a Tiamat. It's a huge stun, a lot of damage. Carter goes in. Angel does manage to snipe Melbs on the back. Weave in a bit of an awkward spot here. Carter coming for the assist. Carter gets the kill. That's a triple kill for the mid laner of BGF. And Married Men are running scared here.
Although I don't think anybody gets Fire Giant again. I think it'll go back to that stalemate that we had. Weave staying around for place a ward there. Nice.
Yeah. A couple good jukes out of Invictus here. Carter wants more. I don't know if he's going to get any more here though.
Bit of a showing from both mid laners there. Kind of clutching up for their team when they needed it.
We have to say, Carter is currently 7-0-8 on this tier, man. I've been saying this entire set. I'm so surprised that we haven't just seen this pick come out from him. It's one of the picks that I know him for.
And Carter likes to get in there, and that God emphasizes it.
Yeah, especially seeing them go for like these dive toms. I'm really glad to see the Tiamat come out.
One hit is all I need.
And we can see it as well, reflected in the top damage as well. 269, classic, 9-9. A lot of damage coming out of the Tiamat. Rum, right up there as well though, have to admit. Good little showing from the sub for Married Men.
Yeah, we can... Good showing on the Rama. We better forget about a little bit of the Blink Scylla that we had in game 2, but all in all, has had a good set.
Yeah, I went straight to the bleach cabinet and tried to erase that one real quick from my mind. It gave the eyes a good wash after seeing that. But the Ram, a lot more satisfying to see right now. Good grouping around this fight. It is EFG. Married Men just don't think they're in a position to give this up at all. It's a relatively dead even game. They're only 1,300 ahead gold-wise, but it just feels like Red Team have so much more pressure.
Yeah, nothing really happening. Both teams scared to pull a 50-50 this Fire Giant. You've seen in both game 2 and 3 here a very long stalemate around this Fire Giant.
I think Angel needs to stop these rolls. He keeps just dashing around the map just to get mobility. And he's just rolled right in front of Melbs. He hits him with the taunt, and since that rolls down, he instantly loses the beads, and Fire Giant's instantly pulled. House, however, also loses the beads and loses life on the back end. Melbs goes in, grabs Ram as Ram goes to the air for the Astral Barrage. I think he loses ultimate. I don't know if it does the damage though.
I think he did. I think he did get it off. I saw the little circuit icon at the bottom of the Rama ult.
Oh,
He
okay.
did
Yeah.
get a little bit of damage there.
Yeah, that was an interesting interaction. There was a lot of ults, a lot of relics used, but only one kill going down, and it is the Yorm from BGF.
As married men maybe elect to call this, they do have way more shred. And I think the shred in this game is better than the red team has Secure. Like, whereas the first game with these comps, the red team kind of had the Secure.
Oh, Pyromancer's pulled. Melb's in the area. I'm not too sure who his target's going to be. Just throws a little taunt at Anubis. Half ignores it. Keeps hitting the Pyro. Pyromancer does go down. There's 2 bombs to either team now.
He's got mid tier 2.
I don't think Dookie was really in any of that fight. I think he kind of broke off and headed towards gold.
Yeah.
But looks like BGF still got the grouping around Fire Giant. A couple of backs being channeled here. It's only Angel from Married Men in the area to defend. It looks like the entire team's just reset.
And we're back to another stalemate staring at each other at Fire Giant. We love to see it. But Dookie did open up a win con if they do get a wipe. Straight down mid.
Yeah, and we are honestly getting to the point of this game where one clean team fight as both, it just seems like both teams in this set just love sending it completely. And at this point in the game, we're not really seeing 1 or 2 people fall. We're generally seeing the entire team fall. No surrender. Atlas goes to the air. Dawn looking for a target. I'd like to see him go to Dookie over in that right lane by himself. Doesn't do that though. Heads into the back line. Doesn't find the ult or the wall. Does, however, get the World Serpent out. Carter alone over here on the left has been recognized. Dark kills to try and help separate the fight. But Half uses the Death Gaze. Doesn't find any joy as Carter just leaps away. Once again, a lot of ults used. Not a lot of joy.
Yeah, no. Maybe a bit of... Ooh, and see an engage here from Mel. Very good. A lot of depth coming out on the Angel. Adler's falling very low as well with the beads coming out as well.
Yeah, Atlas does fall. Angel falls as well on the backside.
And this might be the fight. This could... Minions coming down middle. Another pick here. This could be game.
Yeah, Melbs isn't really in this fight. Just leaps in, uses the ult, gets beads, gets leaps. And then you're right, goes straight back to that wave. Hands used by Anubis too soon. Doesn't clear the wave. This is going to be a Phoenix. This could also be the game. Those stomach pillars are going to be up very soon. I would love to see just a damage check. Never mind, Dookie sends it, uses the beads instantly. Gets the damage off. Is that enough? No, it's not.
Electing to just fall back and get this EFG and get some Phoenixes off the map, maybe look for the end. Feel like the core half guy is on his way though. Probably won't let this go for free.
I was really hoping that dash in from Dookie was enough to to force his team to go in as lovely.
Just show me.
Our lovely cameraman has just highlighted this is a 70% pen Anubis build. Now, Legs, can you tell me how much pen caps at?
40. Does?
Yeah.
I would. I don't know what else you get. I don't know items. I don't know Anubis builds. Ever since they changed Spear of the Magus, I don't know the Anubis build anymore. But I'm assuming it's not 70% pen.
Maybe a Bancroft's Chronos
Doom Orb
Pendant.
in there.
Doom Orb, sure. Soul Reaver, E-Staff. Actually, E-Staff and Anubis probably pogs off.
Get the health when you're ulting.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking there's probably a couple of good items in there. I wouldn't mind seeing the Bancroft's Claw Anubis. I mean, pretty much every single ability that you're going to hit people with, you have to be close enough for that Bancroft's Claw to proc.
Oh, I forgot about that item. I hated that item.
Yeah, it does give a lot of survivability.
I haven't seen Bancrofts in ages.
Yeah, I think Bancroft's is pretty sneaky right now. Didn't get as heavily nerfed in the damage shift patch. So maybe missing a trick here. I think the passives from the items though kind of do neglect the fact that 70% pen, but it's interesting nonetheless.
Still, even with 70% pen, it'll be one shot and carries if they don't have beads. But still not. Definitely could be doing way more.
Well, Dookie is the one electing to
Oh,
go in,
that's an
and
Ubersoul.
Death Gaze comes out very, very quickly. As and so does the Anvil of Dawn. I didn't even realize that Thor was in the air. This could be a good push here. That's two very impactful ultimates gone. Dharmic Pillars are up. We could just see Weave walk in, drop a Dharmic Pillars in the middle of a bunch of people, and then just have his carries go in and take this Phoenix out. Melbs is still pushing middle. Wave coming. Dookie has already used his mobility though. Good roll from Atlas just to keep them out. And everyone getting too poked. Angel goes to the sky looking for shots. One miss, two miss.
Yeah, I don't know about that round.
Three misses too. Double stun. I'm not too sure who got that double stun. Oh my word. Angel just walks up, gets obliterated. Dookie whips out the Exodia. Destroys Angel. And the push is on here. Dharmic Pillars separates the fight. River's Rebuke is enough to keep the things up for now, but it will eventually fall the back end.
They just whipped out Exodia and said obliterate real quick.
Oh, Angel just caught the smoke. Probably way too far for the mid laner to be stepping up there. As this is looking more and more like an end here. All three Phoenixes down. BGF are playing patient, waiting for minions.
And they could just be opting for a slow end here, maybe looking for these minions more in. Hopefully some of these carries get around this and start poking when these things do get in a little bit.
Melbs does have ultimate.
Atlas
They're getting a bit of poke in. Atlas is in the sky. Looking for Dookie on the back end. I wouldn't mind seeing him go for that Melbs drop, which he does. Doesn't quite make it. Melbs was in a good position to be gone on there. Was separated from the rest of his team. Does have a bubble though. Everyone back up. 4 married men here. Oh my word, that's a lot of damage out of Carter. Carter on 50k damage right now is insane. I just want to see House ult here. I want to see House ult and just go in. Here it goes. World Serpent goes in. Ram goes to the sky. That's a lot of damage not being put out right now. Titan getting low at half health. Everyone getting low actually. No one falling yet.
Part of it's chase. And it falls. BGF have won it.
That will be the
Game
Titan.
3.
That will be game. BGF come out of this 2-1.
Yeah.
My word.
Very, very good set. A lot of waiting around that fire giant, and they just found that one fight around red buff where they just kind of ran away. They got the EFG and it's kind of slow ended. I did like the patience there at the end too, being able to hold out and just wait it out.
Yeah, I'm very glad that House actually got so poked that he went into the ultimate there, because that's all he needed to do. He just needed to go on to ult and just disrupt the backline, give his carries the ability to go in and hit Titan, because that Titan wasn't very tanky. It was not going to last, but we got to give a shout out here, though, to Carter. 9-0 and 10 on Tiamat. I think he did like 55k damage or something like that by the end. Just a real standout game.
Yeah, I think Carter would probably be my MVP for the set. We've also gone a little bit unnoticed, could also be a contender for the MVP, but I think I would have to give it to Carter.
Yeah, look, it'd be pretty hard to pick one, but I would probably give it to Weave myself. I know Carter had a really good game 3, but I think Weave just had an outstanding entire set. I think a lot of the times with these with these polls, it'll always be whoever has a good game 3 is the one who ends up winning, because people
Yeah.
just kind of forget about the rest of the set. I think you just can't breeze over what Weave did.
As we're in that, if we could jump over to the what do I want? Maybe the draw. I think I want the draw.
Yep, the
Yeah,
sketty.
draw.
Check the
Yeah.
sketty.
See, I think BGF are on a 3 weeks in a row, 3-2-0s and 3 set wins in a row. They're on the run. They do, however, are going up against. It's a wonderful day for Pi next week.
It's going to be a tough set. That is going to be a very tough set, but with the way these boys are playing, they could maybe find a way to squeeze that one out.
And
That,
if we get over to the standings, where does that put them? They now move up to fourth position, or tied fourth position with the Crimson Knights, which we will see their game next. And may have slotted themselves in fourth position there. I think at this point it is not possible for them to not make finals after that win. Unless, no, I think if that goes to, yeah, they do. They are
I,
cemented themselves.
yeah, I think with the 3 wins, it does only leave Jack Martin's Corrupted Crusaders and La Bomba left fighting for that final spot. I think the other 5 teams are already locked in to the finals, but one of those other 3 we will not be seeing in finals.
Yeah, as we see the next set actually that we're getting into, and the poll about to end. We've kind of running away with it, 6 votes.
Yeah,
And
we've really
yeah,
just taken it away, hasn't he? That's
the
a
unsung hero. You don't see a lot of support MVPs. People kind of look at the slash lines and forget about us.
yeah. I'd
But we
love to
do
see a good
stuff too.
MVP go towards a support, and I think that it's really well deserved from Weave. Had a really good set. He was always in the right position, really peeled out for his teammates a lot, and you have to think a lot of the shot calling from that team is coming out of Weave. So I think a very well deserved MVP.
Yeah, so we will go into a small break as we see the next set being Threats Crimson Knights battling out for second position actually. Whoever wins this goes straight, slots into second place there. But we will take a small break and we will be back eventually with the next set.